Welcome, everybody, to your 25th edition of TWitWoW Five Fave Fives. I cannot believe we've done 25 of these. John, we've literally done 5 fives of Five Fave Fives because it's literally 5 squared. 25. 5 times 5.
Amazing. I mean, I fucking hate math, but that's cool. That's cool. For all you math lovers
Yeah,
out there, that's for you.
I feel like I developed a bit of a stutter there, to be honest with you.
That's all right. We're just excited. We're all excited. I mean, it's five. It's my favorite commentary that we do, where we just get to kick back, chill, be ourselves, and just celebrate the wrestlers that make an industry that's the fucking shits right now. Not only bearable, but at times the truly great ones still make it lovable. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm looking
Dude, I'll
forward
tell
to
you right
celebrating.
now, I have never felt more in line with what you just said, I think, than right now because my absolute favorite performers just so happen to be in my absolute least favorite promotion. So we will get around to that. And to be fair, a lot of my absolute favorite performers are also in my favorite promotion, so it's not an exclusive thing. But it's still something that's showing up a little too much. So let's get into this. And, kind of in the middle there between my least favorite and my favorite promotions, just kind of in my ambivalent promotions, is just WWE. I don't really care about WWE. I don't, I'm not excited about it most of the time. I don't hate it, although there's definitely some things that they do that I do hate. And of course, Vince McMahon himself, I hate, and his sycophants, I hate. But the company itself, I'm kind of whatever. Take it or leave it, whatever. But let's start with that. Five Fave Fives. We'll include NXT in this for those of you that don't follow along with us all the time. John, do you want to go first, or should I go first, naming honorable mentions?
Bro, you seem so hyped up. Let me go first, just to kind of slow the tempo a bit.
Ooh.
Uh, so I will volunteer. All right, guys. So the way that my system works is just kind of a self-imposed rule, not a
Oh, I
universal
followed
rule.
your rule, by the way. I have 5 honorable mentions for each category as well.
Oh, wow. Look at you. Yeah, so Ashton pretty much took the words out of my mouth. I like to keep honorable mentions to five because I like to treat honorable mentions as like, well, if my fave five wasn't my fave five, this would be the B team. So here we go. Honorable mentions. Number five, Damian Priest. Four, Shayna Baszler. I expect her to move up. I am enjoying what Shayna's doing. Three, Drew McIntyre. Great match with Gunther. Two, Jey Uso. Enough said. One, Dominic Mysterio. I'm just enjoying that
Wait,
North American title reign.
the fourth name that you listed? Jey Uso.
Yes,
Wow. And then the first one was Rey Mysterio?
Dominic Mysterio. You
Oh,
know.
fuck.
Yeah. Wow, you actively repressed it in real time. Your brain rewrote it, and it was like, okay, just read that back to me. Oh shit. But who are your honorable mentions, my friend?
I'm going to go in the exact same order you did, basically from 10 to 6, right?
Yes.
Number 10, the Metaphor, which is a faction in NXT that I've really been enjoying. Noam Dar is hilarious, and
Nice.
I've enjoyed the promo work of Jakara Jackson and to a lesser degree also Oro Mensa and Lash Legend. Lash is fun. Lash is bubbly and fun. Oro, I want to see more of. I haven't seen enough of him, but the group as a whole just works really well. And Noam is fucking hilarious. Second, or I guess ninth, Los Lotharios. They literally
Nice.
haven't wrestled a single match in this time, I don't think, and yet their storyline is just so interesting that I had to fit them on here somehow. Eighth place, I don't even know what to call them, so I just put the new Lashley and Street Profits faction.
Yeah, I am intrigued by them. They haven't done enough for me yet to have any kind of place, but I expect that to change very quickly.
I am so hyped for them. Number 7, Alpha Academy.
Nice.
And number 6, Shinsuke Nakamura.
Hey, I'm personally hoping he beats Seth. We'll have to see how that goes. But taking the baton back to begin formally our Fave 5 in WWE. Number 5 for me. It's funny you said Alpha Academy because Chad Gable came in at number 5 for me.
Nice.
He's getting over. The shoosh is getting over. He's a tremendous athlete. We've known that for the longest time.
Yes.
And now he's number one contender for Gunther's Intercontinental Championship, which I was very explicitly advocating for on this podcast after the 5-minute challenge. I think those two can have a great match. To me, it's going to be a different twist on David and Goliath because I mean Gable certainly is still David in this scenario, but they're both very technically sound athletes. And that's what really intrigues me. It's not like he's the underdog in the Rey Mysterio sense where it's like, oh, I'm small but evasive. No, this dude is freakish strength. We've seen him hit Gunther with the Chaos Theory.
Yep.
And I think you're going to see some of the best mat wrestling you're going to see all year from these two. That title match is supposedly going to take place next Monday on Raw. This is a rare case where I might have baked pulled up while our Discord is together, and I might just full blown deafen so I can see this match from bell to bell because I'm excited to see what these two do. And honestly, I'm kind of hoping for a screwy finish so we can get this again on a pay per view.
Nice.
I'd even love if you put 2 out of 3 falls on it or something. Like I just want to see these guys do some real graps, in the words of the great Kirby Freeman. So yeah, Gable, I'm so glad to see him get this rub. I think much like Ali, he's been an underrated promo and certainly just a solid in-ring guy that's finally getting a chance to really shine. So just want to give him some love there. But who inaugurates your list? Who comes in at number 5?
Numero 5 is Asuka.
Ooh, I like that. Talk about her.
She was a really good champion, and it's one of those things where every time she works a match, it's just I'm reminded of how much of an absolute consummate pro she is, and her promos are always so fun and exciting, and I just think she is one of the. It's almost like I almost feel like I am making like a boring choice when I put her in these lists because it's like, well, yeah, everyone's a fan of Asuka. It's not, you're not special for liking her, but yeah, like I really do. Like if I'm just listing the acts that I enjoy most on these shows, I can't just not list her. She's that wonderful. I love Asuka. She's awesome.
Absolutely. Number 4, I'm going to try and be as brief as you were. Roman Reigns. What else is there to say?
Ooh.
Dude's a great promo. I enjoy his matches. This is a title reign that it's amazing that it's been going on for 3 years, and I'm not bored. I don't know any other performer unless I was an absolute sycophant for them, Kyrie, Utami, Johnny, whoever. I don't know any other performer outside of the sycophantic sphere that could really pull this off for me personally. He is absolutely tremendous. And the scumbag in me, or as my sister says about all of our dark sides, the shadow self in me, fucking loves abuser Roman Reigns. I mean, the gaslighting, perfection.
Wow.
Just the insecurity, perfection. The malice, magnificent. Truly a great heel in an age where I think so many people still want to be cool or are just emotionally immature and are kind of the heel in the wrong ways. This is a guy that's a top guy being a bad guy, but probably still a complete sweetheart outside of the ring. Roman Reigns is an anomaly. I think he's been an anomaly most of his career, to be honest, but this time it's truly in the best of ways. I really, really hope he doesn't lose the title to Cody at WrestleMania 40. I'm already doing the emotional prep now, though, because I see it coming. I am the Titanic to Cody Rhodes' iceberg, and it's still gonna fucking hurt because what a title reign. Just what a title reign. What a man. Whatever he does after this, he's earned it. Best part-timer I've seen in a long time because he has me engaged every time he does something. So yeah, Roman Reigns at number 4. Who's next for you, friend?
Number 4 for me, I'm guessing will rank higher for you. Verding General Gunther.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
man.
yeah.
It's one of those things where I've always really liked Walter, sort of from a distance, from a social distance, as you would say. Where like I've always admired his work and I've always kind of acknowledged like, yeah, he's really good. But like recent months have really, really opened my eyes to him and really made me a fan of his. Um, so I think was it the Drew match at SummerSlam? That was what happened at SummerSlam, right? He wrestled Drew.
Yes. Yeah.
Between that and the recent matches that he's had with Gable, I think he even just had a match with Otis on Raw, I want to say.
Yeah, I can't believe he powerbombed him. And it was a
Yeah.
realistic looking powerbomb too for
Yeah,
Otis' size.
like yeah, Gunther, I know it's like I'm late to the party because I know everyone has already known how fucking amazing he is and has been just screaming from the rooftops that this dude is the man. And even just like his Rumble performance this year, I was like, God damn, this dude's a marvel. And yet I never really saw him, you know what I mean? But yeah, like the last like month or two, which is what we're grading here, have really opened my eyes to him, and I've really grown to appreciate how damn good he is. So that's why he made my list here.
I think that Gunther for you, if I could just say, was kind of like what Danielson has been for me so long. A guy that I think you always knew was good, but I think not necessarily that you took that for granted, because I never really liked that phrase because it implies some kind of malice or something. But that it's just like it just comes naturally to him. So you're like, oh, of course he was good. Where I think we
Yeah.
try and look for those people where it's like, oh man, I've never seen you do that before. You've gotten better, or maybe
Well,
even better.
and it's one of those
Yeah,
things where I think it's like because everyone else was already onto him before I caught on to him, it almost made me not want to get into him because everyone else is already into him. So why should I invest when I'm already just going to be joining a crowd of a million? You know what I mean?
absolutely. But I really love how you put that, and I love the props that you gave him. Number three for me, I'm thinking she'll be on your list, but you don't have to sell it because I'm curious if she did place it all. Rhea Ripley. This is a woman who, again, I went and I watched her match, or at least the highlights of it on YouTube, because I don't really have much time to watch full shows that aren't on the TWitWoW schedule these days. Between her and Lyra Valkyria, and that was the match that really made me say, this woman's one of the best women's wrestlers in the world. And honestly, you could even make the case, just one of the best wrestlers in the world, regardless of gender right now. She's got presence. She's insanely over. She's a great heel foil with Dominic as kind of the manager role. To me, she's the spiritual leader of Judgment Day. I think Finn, and I love Finn, and we'll get to that more later for me, wink, wink. I do think, in a way, he's kind of the leader in name only. I feel like Rhea is the glue that holds that group together. And she's been having such banger matches. I'm going to say it again. I feel like the idea that she was left off the SummerSlam card in a competitive capacity was the
Yeah.
term that I used at SummerSlam is a goddamn joke.
Yeah.
It's a goddamn joke. She's one of the
She's
best women
consistently
they
one of the
have.
best matches on any card that she's on.
Absolutely. I've heard some people speculate they want Becky versus Rhea at Mania 40. I'll be honest, I don't give a shit what Rhea does. It's going to be one of the best matches. You could put her in
And
there
I'll
with a
be
show.
honest, I feel like that's more of a waste of Rhea than anything.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Give
to me,
Rhea
it's like,
someone that can keep up with her for fuck's sakes.
yeah, I want that Rhea Bianca match, bro. Like, I'd like, because that match
I
would
mean,
fucking
Rhea
spot.
Bianca would be great. I mean, if we want to do some brand swapping, Rhea Asuka would get me pretty fucking excited.
Yeah, because I know they had a match a few Manias ago, but I feel like if they had a match again, it would be better because Rhea just
She's
feels
in her groove, man.
she's in her groove right now. She feels more self assured than she's ever been. Like, and it's just amazing to watch. I don't know if Lyra's going to join Judgment Day or if this is part of a bigger story, but man, is Rhea great right now.
It feels
And
like they're building towards Rhea Raquel right now, big time.
yeah, oh, it definitely does. And that also scares me, much like Cody Rhodes coming after Roman again scares me. But, I will say, man, much like Jamie Hayter, Rhea really feels like a leader for the women's division. I mean, it just feels believable, her with that title. Um, so I'm really, really happy for Rhea. She's doing amazing things. And I just hope that the title reign just continues to be one that she could be proud of because I think she's doing amazing work. So who's next on your list?
Number 3 on my list, and I don't know if this is the highest that I've ranked an NXT performer in a long time or not, but it feels like it is. But he was number 4 on my last list. He's number 3 now. Wes Lee.
Nice, nice.
I've been watching NXT, and to be clear, when I say I've been watching when it comes to shows like NXT, really any wrestling television show, what I really mean is I have it on the TV while I do other shit, and if anything happens to catch my eye, I'll try and pay attention to it. You know,
Yes,
that's my idea of watching these days. I don't really watch anything intently unless you and I are live reacting to it.
yes.
Uh, so yeah, I've been doing that version of watching NXT lately. This whole time, pretty much. I pretty much put it on my TV. I think it's pretty much every Tuesday, or at least every Tuesday that I'm home in time to. And yeah, man, Wes is really good. He is. I mean, I'm sure that probably doesn't come as a surprise to most of you. Most of you know how damn good he is, but like, even on the mic, he cut an amazing promo on NXT this week. I don't know if you were aware of that, but man, he is a complete package. He is literally everything that Ricochet wishes he was.
I don't want to be that guy sincerely, but I will say, what happened with Nash Carter was really, tragic and confusing for a lot of us. 'Cause I know a lot of people were sorting out like what is true and what isn't, but what happened to him happened. I think Wesley really made the best of it. And who's to even say if he would have gotten this opportunity if that didn't happen? And I think, when you see how much he's taken advantage of it, the business and NXT as a brand, I think, is all the better for it happening. Because I mean, man, Wesley has really come into his own because of this. And I don't know if you would say this because you clearly have been watching him more than I have, but just hearing you talk, it kind of sounds like a Jey Uso situation where it's like if you tried to put Wesley in a tag team after this, it would be awkward and doing him a disservice. Like I think he's really found himself seemingly as a
I could
singles guy
definitely
from the
still buy him in a tag team on the main roster, but if you're going to try and sell me on him being reduced to a tag team wrestler in NXT, that's where we're running into problems for sure.
right. I'm
But
really
like if you
happy,
wanted
man.
to put
That's so
him
cool.
with Ricochet so that you could have these two crazy flippy athletic guys and then Wes could be the mouthpiece and Ricochet wouldn't have to talk, I'd be cool with that. Or if you wanted to put him with like an opposite, like if you wanted to put him with like Omos and have like this big scary intimidating guy with this little flippy guy and have Wes again be the mouthpiece because Wes is a really fucking good promo. I would love that. That would be cool as hell.
Yeah, for sure.
But
For
yeah,
sure.
like, but in NXT, no. The only tag team that I would buy him being in is if it was like back in the day when Samoa Joe and Finn Balor teamed up and won the first ever Dusty Classic,
Yeah.
where it was like maybe like him and Mello team up or something like that, or like him and Ali even teaming up, like a powerhouse tag team that just runs rampant all over the entire tag division. But even then, that's
Right.
kind of a heelish thing. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that he ranked that high for you, though, man. We'll see if he can climb even higher. I mean, Wesley, he's bringing it. I know he's going to be challenging Mello at Heat Wave. Should be a banger of a
Yes, I
match. Uh,
will be watching that match for sure.
Number two for me, Finn Balor. I have always had a deep respect for Finn. I
Wow! I'm stunned that you ranked Finn this high. You ranked Finn above Rhea. What?
Yeah, dude, I loved his feud with Seth from an in-ring perspective, and
That's
even from a
amazing.
promo perspective. I like him as a character. He was a heel that like he had those sniveling qualities, being with Judgment Day, but like it was understandable. Like if a guy did to me what Seth did to Finn, you think I would care about conscience or adhering to a certain no, fuck that dude. Almost took my livelihood from me and laughed in my face about it. Fuck that dude.
Yeah.
Like no, I was very sympathetic to Seth. Excuse me, very sympathetic to Finn. God knows I wasn't sympathetic to Seth. This grading period. I think in the ring, Finn has always been solid. He's one of those guys. You know what I love about Finn? He very much exudes that contemporary style with like the impact spots and the kicks and everything. But just the way he executes is just so believable and so crisp.
Mm-hmm.
Finn really straddles that line to me perfectly of what I'm looking for, where he never comes off as like carny or full of shit or like, like now you're taking me out of it. Finn has this engrossing quality to me with his matches. I thought him and Seth had a really fun match at SummerSlam. I was hoping that Finn would win. I think he's a part of a very intriguing storyline here with Damian Priest and this tension in Judgment Day. I could do without JD McDonald's being involved, because he can go fuck himself. But, other than that, I think Finn is absolutely just solid, astounding. And I think I've had this respect for Finn a long time. Honestly, him being this high is long overdue because I still feel bad for the dude that he got screwed in Extreme Rules against Roman Reigns. Probably one of the best hands that the company has. It's like, hey, Finn, go out and have this match or do this program. Yeah, yeah. Dude's like in his 40s and still in amazing shape and still looking like he could go for another 10 years, for God's sakes. I don't know when retirement will be for Finn Balor, but man, everybody, if nothing else, everybody from a physical, like health standpoint should be like talking to Finn Balor. Like, dude, how did you stay like this for so long?
Yeah.
How did you compete at a high level for so long? And like, hey, every body is different. So maybe the advice isn't universal. I doubt it. But even if one performer could take that advice and it would apply to them and they could have a long career, more power to you. This dude's a freak. Big respect to Finn Balor to the point where I will even say I'm looking forward to when this dude goes babyface again. Because I want him to get one more world title run, and that just feels more likely as a babyface. So we'll see. But I'm curious who's next on your list.
I believe this is the first time. Oh, okay. It's not the first time, like, ever, but there's been one exception, and that was Sami Zayn. But excluding times where Sami Zayn was number one, this is literally my first time since September of last year that the Bloodline was not number one on my WWE Fave 5.
Oh, okay. So who is it?
Though I'm saying the Bloodline is number two in my Fave 5.
Oh, number two. Oh, right, because we haven't gotten to number. Yes, of
Yeah.
course. So no, Bloodline. But hey, that's still a strong spot, man. So you're still liking what they're doing enough. I mean,
And
how did you feel this
when I say
weekend?
the Bloodline, that I will admit, because I kind of use like some technicalities here, because of the fact that Money in the Bank happened during this grading period, and Money in the Bank included a match that was the main event, that was the Bloodline Civil War, and that was Roman, Solo, and the Usos. I'm including all of them in this.
Yeah.
So I'm including the Usos as a part of the Bloodline, even though they're not technically a part of the Bloodline anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I just loved everything this whole time that's been going on. And the thing is, this is what's beautiful about it. When I say I've loved everything that's going on, it's only partially true, because I haven't loved everything that's going on. There's been stuff that's happened that I don't approve of, that I think could be done better, or better yet, that I'm basically relying on them doing something good down the line in order for it to pay off and justify them making a decision that I can't approve of now unless they make the good decisions later. And that's hard for me. But
Yeah.
I'm just so fucking invested in this storyline that I have to rank it this highly. And Roman's work and Jay's work specifically, those two guys, has been like leagues above everyone else in the entire company.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, dude. 100%.
I mean, Roman above Jay, but they're close.
Yeah, closer than you might think, for sure. Like I think Jay has really stepped up, but Roman. I mean, you already heard me say when he was number 4 on my list. Just insane. Anything else you want to say, or can I get to number 1 on my
That about
list?
covers it. Go for it.
All right, number 1, the Ring General Gunther.
Woo!
I gotta tell you, Ash and I have been saying lately, are we old? Are we starting to get in the way? Like, do we just, is the current of pro wrestling, are we, fighting against that current? I would say to a degree, yes. I think any wrestling can, make us smile if it's done right, if it's sensible. But to me, I gotta say, Gunther is everything, not only that I love about pro wrestling, but I will say everything that's right about pro wrestling. I mean, this dude, I already liked Gunther in his previous form. I know some people made fun of him or like criticized him, like, oh, he looks out of shape and this and that. Dude was always a tank. Let's get that clear, first of all, because I didn't like the low-key body shaming that was happening with Gunther. He was always believable to me. That said, his transformation has been incredible. And I'm telling you, you could put the world title on this dude yesterday. You would not hear a peep out of me. And I doubt we'd hear a peep out of you or anybody. Well, I mean, Abel's the only one really active in our chat right now. We'll see if more people file in. But he's just believable. And one word that you and I have been saying a lot lately, mainly because we want more wrestlers to do it, and we were so impressed with Mina and Utami for doing it, is psychology. And I feel like Gunther has great psychology. I mean, look at SummerSlam, right? The match he had with Drew. I know one moment you loved because Gunther tried the splash earlier in the match and it got a 2 count. That finish where they're fighting on the top rope, Gunther shoves Drew, crotches him on the top rope. He comes off the turnbuckle, another splash, doesn't pin him though, picks him up because he knows the splash wasn't enough to win the first time, and then power bombs him. I mean, that's just amazing ring sense. This guy, and not to mention, and I should mention this, he's single-handedly rehabilitating the Intercontinental title. Finally, it feels something worthwhile again. It feels like, hey, if I'm never going to be a world champion, I'll be damn proud to be Intercontinental champion because of what this guy has done. Have to also credit some of his premier challengers. Drew, most recently, Sheamus, I feel like helped get that title over again alongside Gunther. So, fuck yes, kudos to Sheamus. Chad Gable and him. That's why I want this to be a little bit of a mini program. I don't want it to end on Monday. Do some goddamn mat wrestling because Gunther.
Have it look like Chad's gonna win, and then fucking Ludwig comes in and breaks up a pinfall or attacks him or something to make a DQ so that the feud gets extended.
And I want people to understand, like what Ashton just said, if that happens, I need people to understand how fucking much that puts Gable over without winning. Because the only other time Gunther has needed to cheat to beat somebody was Sheamus, which is why I thought he was, with the shillelagh. And that's the beautiful thing about Gunther is he isn't beneath cheat, or he isn't above cheating, I should say. he just so rarely has to do it because he's so credible.
Yeah.
He's the perfect heel.
He's a
Like, because here's the thing,
beast.
dude. If you have to cheat every match, which again, I think a guy like Roman Reigns does get away with it because of the character. But I feel like if a lot of heels do that, it kind of loses steam a little bit. The idea that Gunther is capable enough to handle, I will even go as far as say 90% of his business clean. He even beat Drew clean for all intents and purposes at SummerSlam. Like, that's nuts to me. I fucking love this dude. I want him to be world champion. I will tell you, fuck Cody Rhodes. Fuck a lot of guys that seem like they might be ahead of Gunther in that pecking order. You could put the world heavyweight title on him. You could put the undisputed title on him, that they got over on SmackDown. This dude, at the very least, I'm going to put a number out there. By the end of his career, should at the very least be a 4-time world champion. Because this dude holding it once, unless it's going to be a ridiculous reign, will not be enough. This dude is the best of your Brunos, your Harley Races, those guys that you could put the strap on, and they're not going to be overly colorful or wacky or silly. Out to his credit, even when he feuded with Dragunov, which I know you hated that shit because Dragunov went over, he never acted like a fucking goof. This dude is just straight up serious 24/7, and it makes you believe it. Because again, it takes the village, and I guess that wrestling has something for everybody. You have to have your colorful characters and this and that. I'm not one of those old embittered people like a Cornette that thinks no silliness allowed. I do think there is a place for silliness in wrestling. I do. However, it is nice to have guys that are these throwbacks that are like, no, I beat people up for money and I'm good at it and I'm going to be world champion and nobody's going to stop me. And you're just kind of sitting there and you're like, yeah, yeah, like what do I say to that? What do I say to that so that I don't get kicked in the fucking face? What am I gonna debate? I'm not gonna debate Gunther. You out of your fucking mind? No, this dude, he's just everything right about pro wrestling. Like I said, the sooner he wins that world title, the better. He deserves to take Honky Tonk Man's record because fuck Honky Tonk Man. Um, I'm just glad the Intercontinental title is back, and Gunther is a huge fucking part of that. So all hail Gunther, baby! It's fucking happening. So who is number one on your list?
You probably saw this coming. It's Damage Control.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Io has taken her spot back at the top, right where she belongs, alongside another favorite of mine, Bailey. And thankfully, they're kind of even complete now because Dakota's been back since SummerSlam.
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
she made her return at SummerSlam to celebrate with Io after she won the title, and she also was on SmackDown right after SummerSlam as well. So she's kind of around now too. She was even on the post SummerSlam press conference, and that was really lovely to see. So I'm glad that they're all three back together, and Io is just full on feeling herself, and I love that for her. And I'm feeling her as champion too, man. It's great. She's awesome, and Bailey kind of still being supportive of her for now while I can get it. I'm loving it. It's wonderful.
Yeah, dude, it's great. I'm happy for Damage Control and emphasis on EO because we say it all the time, man. Any foreigner, whether you're talking about a transplant from America or Europe to Japan, or especially from Japan to America, because we know what a shit show in terms of xenophobia, racism, all that stuff it is right now. When you come here and you bet on yourself to do something, EO always had the confidence that she was one of the best wrestlers in the world, and she was right. But I think it's always nice to be vindicated by the wrestling promotions, and WWE has finally vindicated that sentiment for her, putting the women's title on her. I'm excited for her reign. Should be good shit. I feel like her and Asuka, that program's already going to slap. And then with Kairi's return seemingly imminent, that's just a lot of parts to work with. And I'm happy for Io. She's eating really good right now. And like you said, Bailey being supportive for now, that's another feud waiting in the wings. So yeah, Io, she was patient with herself, never gave up on herself, and Damage Control and any didn't give up on themselves. And now I think they're in a really good spot. So I'm happy you gave them the love that you did. That's beautiful, man.
And now we get to move on to AEW.
Yeah, let's not stay too long. Fuck this company. You give your
Bro, I
message
swear to
first.
you, I was so fucking close to putting this company doesn't deserve honorable mentions under my honorable mentions list.
You're a more sensible person than me because, and I am glad you said that though, because I'm just gonna be honest with you. I can only come up with three. I could not
Oh
do a full.
wow, nice. I do
I am
have all
sorry.
5 though. I admittedly
Okay,
did come up with 5,
I'm
mostly
proud of you.
because
Yeah.
I just thought of like who I like that's been on TV, and that's it.
Yeah, I'm proud of you. You're a better man than me because I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. So I'm glad one of us did our job. So you go first.
I will say again for those of you that aren't, longtime listeners, our AEW list does include Ring of Honor. So Ring of Honor people that we might want to mention are also going to be a part of this. Honorable mentions though, going from the bottom up, from 10 to 6 basically. Willow Nightingale,
Nice.
Ruby Soho,
Nice.
Chris Statlander,
Nice.
Hangman Page,
Nice.
and Kota Ibushi,
Excellent.
who will
I'm
be at
gonna
All In, by the way.
I'm gonna make a last minute sudden change here. It's actually funny because I don't think this has ever happened or such steep drop. I'm gonna take my original number one and I'm gonna put them at number one for my honorable mentions, and then I'm gonna put my new number one somewhere else. So then I am gonna have
Huh?
4 honorable mentions. So it still won't be a full roster, but it'll be something. And
Why?
yeah,
Can I ask why you just dropped your number 1 all the way out of your top 5?
because you just reminded me that if we're including Ring of Honor, there's somebody I've really been liking lately that I want to show love to.
Well, okay, but
So
couldn't you just like put the new person at number 1 and then shift everyone down 1?
I thought about that, but then looking at this list, I'm like, I still kind of like them more than my number one. I just forgot ROH was competing. So we're just going to do this. So number 4 for me, Samoa Joe. 3 for me, Keith Lee. Please fucking use him more, AEW. I'd really appreciate it.
Yeah, no, dude,
2,
I actually looked it up, and Keith Lee literally hasn't had a singles match during this grading period. He's been in like 2 or 3 tag matches, one of which he got paired up with Swerve and walked out on him, reasonably so, and the other one was like him and Dustin again.
okay. 2, Christian Cage, one of the best heels in the business right now. And 1, Adam Cole, baby. So there you go. Who inaugurates your Fave 5 for AEW?
Christian Cage, actually. So you mentioned him as your sort of number 7, Jace. He's my number 5.
Please sing the praises of this magnificent douchebag.
Yeah, I've been really enjoying his work. He's a lot of fun. He had a moment on a recent episode of, I think, Collision. It was actually the Collision during SummerSlam that literally nobody watched. And he had, I think, his daughter on, and she asked if she could hold the TNT title, and he said, "No, did you win this? You didn't win this. You didn't earn this belt. Go find your mother." And when she was running away, he went, "Security, she doesn't have a pass to be backstage," to escort her out of the building.
Amazing.
Such a turbo douche. It's amazing. He's so fucking good.
When you extend being a heel to your own children, that's dedication.
He even wrestled a match during this grading period, and it was good. He's just the best.
Can I just say too, like, obviously we're having our fun, but I do mean this somewhat sincerely. Because you always feel like, obviously, that separation between kayfabe and not. And you feel like, oh, well, heels probably have family that they love. So Christian actually going that extra mile and being a heel to his own daughter, but like not in a way that would like disturb or whatever. He really is just one of the best pro wrestlers. And it's such a long career and it just keeps giving in such a beautiful way. So many, much like I said about Finn Balor earlier, so many people can learn from Christian. I am so happy he actually made your list.
Yes.
5 for me, AR Fox.
Nice.
Dude, amazing. I've said it over and over again. Am I the most faithful watcher of like his stuff now that he's on AEW? No, and that's really not his fault. I have such a visceral reaction to this fucking company. Us even talking about it right now honestly makes me sick. But that said, I'm happy the dude's getting paid. I'm happy the dude's on television. I'm happy the dude's getting a fucking audience because shame on the wrestling industry for sleeping on this guy as long as you did. Like, get it the fuck together. He's amazing. Great look. Amazing in the ring. Haven't heard him work a stick in a minute, so I would like to hear some promos.
But I mean, he's gotten a little bit better over the years, but he's still not like amazing by any means. He's no Swerve, that's for sure.
But here's the thing, and you know, you and I promote positive masculinity on this podcast. We're both very comfortable. I mean, if anybody's heard me thirst over Santos, you guys know I don't give a fuck. This is a genuinely sexy man. Like, I mean, he's a good-looking dude. So when I say he has a good look, I don't even know if he needs to talk that well because, like, I don't know. I enjoy looking at them. I mean, that's, that's the thing. And if I'm that way, I'm sure a lot of other people are that way. So yeah, AR Fox is 5 for me. Who's number 4 on your Fave
Number
5?
4 on my AEW Fave 5 is the Goddess of War, Athena.
Amazing, amazing.
Yeah, I was able to put her on my list because of the Owen Hart tournament that she had multiple matches in. She had a couple of really good matches there. The first one was against Billy Starks on the Forbidden Door 2 show, pre-show actually. I watched that and it was one of the best matches on the entire show, including the main show. And then she also had a match against Willow Nightingale on an episode of Rampage that I managed to catch afterwards, after the fact. And that was also really good. So yeah, Athena stays amazing. I just love her as a talent. I love her as a heel now, which I'm just really not used to seeing. She's great. I think her promos have gotten better as a heel. I think that her character work has gotten better as a heel. And her as Ring of Honor Women's Champion, I mean, frankly, I really hope that she holds that title long enough for Yuka Sakazaki to be able to recover from her injury that she's dealing with and working through and come back and be the one to dethrone her, however long that happens to take. Because frankly, I'm not in a rush for Athena's title reign to end.
Beautifully said. 4 for me, and I know damn well this guy's probably going to rank higher for you, Swerve. Love that he's got his own faction. Love the theme and the packaging. Obviously, he's been great in the ring all this time. Just, I just wish that they would put this dude more at the forefront of this fucking company. At the very least, look, if you don't want to put the world title on him, I can't be disingenuous and say I get it, because I don't, because I do think this guy's a main event level talent. The idea that this dude isn't currently the TNT champion or the international champion is fucking laughable to me, especially the international champion, because I actually do like Christian Luchasaurus. So I'm not gonna like make them catch strays because they deserve all the praise they're getting. But Orange Cassidy with this workhorse transformation, which by the way he beat Wheeler Yuta on Wednesday. So again, another story where it's like, oh, BCC could get some heat. No, no, it just doesn't happen. It never fucking happens.
Bro, I'm telling you right now, if Wheeler Yuta would have won that match, he would have won that TNT title. I would have been so fucking pissed.
I don't blame you. I would have forgiven it though, because like he had the history with the best friends, and he's like, I want to hurt you emotionally, and I feel like that would have been an interesting struggle to see Orange Cassidy undergo. But no, of course he fucking wins. So yeah, Swerve has gotten dicked out of that title, I feel like at least twice. So and it fucking sucks. He's leading a faction that is cool and is credible, but it's like AEW doesn't even really care. I know a lot of complaints get put out by WWE or about WWE, but I feel like with Triple H more on the creative side of things, I feel like Swerve, I don't want to overstate it, but I do feel like he'd be doing better, even if only marginally, in WWE right now. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe
I
Mogul
mean,
Embassy.
bro, with Triple H in charge, with how well he treated him in NXT, he'd be doing really well, I think. And I mean, fuck, he'd probably be keeping Hit Row relevant right now.
Yeah, really. Really. He'd be keeping Hit Row relevant. And who even knows like how far they would have gone. Because now with Ray as US champion, dude, imagine a Hit Row led by Swerve feuding with LWO led by Ray, and Swerve and Ray
It
have a
would be
program for that
pretty
US title.
glorious, yeah.
Yeah, it's what he fucking deserves. I'm so fucking. You know what? No, it's gonna turn into a rant, and that's not why we're here. So who's next on your Fave 5?
Numero tres. Number 3 on my AEW Fave 5, House of Black.
You know what? That's an awesome pick. I should be giving these guys more love, but it would have felt disingenuous because I've been so checked out on them. But please speak on it.
They're really cool.
Yeah.
And they're all 3 really good wrestlers. I think my personal favorite wrestler of the 3 is Buddy Matthews, but Malachi's not far behind, and Brody King is also just really good. And I don't want to make it seem like I think he sucks just because I would rank him 3rd out of these 3 really, really talented performers. Man, I mean, the spooky stuff is cool and all, but their ring work is really what draws me to them. They're just so fucking good. They've been kind of feuding with Andrade. That kind of might be over now because Andrade got his mask back. And now I think on a recent episode of some kind of AEW show, I don't even know which one anymore because they all kind of run together to me. They intimidated, I want to say, was it the Best Friends? I'm not even entirely sure anymore, honestly. The lights went out. It might have even been the Bucks. I don't even know, honestly. The lights went out and they just kind of stood there to intimidate someone, but I don't know who it was.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, House of Black, they do seem to be doing great stuff. So, I'm happy that they made your list.
Let me
Number
look and
3 on
see if
my
they're scheduled for a match on All In. I don't think they are. Are they scheduled for a match on All Out though? That might be where it is. No, they're not. Fuck.
damn.
Okay, well, I mean, I'm assuming we're gonna get something from them at some point, but I don't know if there's. Oh, the Acclaimed. It was the Acclaimed. They beat up the Acclaimed on Dynamite last night.
Okay.
I knew it was someone. So I'm assuming that that's going to lead to the in-ring return of Billy Gunn and that whole thing, because the Billy Gunn retirement angle that they're doing.
Yes.
So that's probably leading to that. But yeah, that's. I mean, that feels like a waste of House of Black to me. But what they've been doing prior to it has been so good that I had to rank them pretty high here.
Absolutely. Um, Next up for me, Hikaru Shida.
Nice.
Um, really like her. Total fucking sweetheart. Great in the ring. And AEW Women's Champion. I wish that Shida wouldn't have been, and I hate to put it this way, but we can only ever be honest. I wish she was more than a prop for Tony Khan to deflect, for his ego to deflect criticism, because this all happened in the wake of Lufisto's interview, which I still need to watch, and I do want to watch because I want to hear her in her own words, and I want to hear all of it. But I will say, like, she was the first ever AEW Women's Champion during the pandemic era. I'm happy that she got to win the title again in front of people. She's going to be going to Wembley, probably to drop the title back to Tony and or just drop it to Soraya. I don't know how that's gonna go. Which sucks because I feel like she's better than both of them. I would even say better than both of them combined. I'm over fucking both of them. Still very disappointed in what I read about both of them. Mainly Tony, because again, I keep coming back to she went through her own trauma, and you think that would engender some empathy, but no, I guess just some people
I
just
mean,
still
they
choose to be
both
a piece
did.
of
They both went through a lot of trauma.
yeah, they did. But yeah, and they're both just choosing to do this, and that just really fucking sucks. And Sheeta just seems like a sweetheart, and I feel like she's gonna get the short end of the stick. But
Also, did you
yeah.
say that Sheeta was the first ever AEW Women's Champion? Because she wasn't.
Oh yeah, Riho was,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But Hikaru Shida, I think, was one of the longer reigning ones until
Yeah.
fucking Baker
She
happened.
she was
Um,
she's basically known as the pandemic champion because she was the champion for most of the non-crowd era.
yeah. So
And then
Shida's
pretty much
great.
as soon as crowds came back, they put it on Brit, I believe.
Yeah. Which wow, disrespectful. I hate this fucking company so much,
Yeah.
but Shida's one of the few bright spots. So who's next on your list?
Yeah, see, this is where we get into the whole, like, what I was referring to earlier when I say that some of my absolute favorite acts in all of wrestling are in my least favorite company in wrestling. Number 2 on my list is Andrade El Idolo.
Okay. Okay, I figured.
This
Figured.
motherfucker has completely reminded me, and hopefully everyone, who the fuck he is and how goddamn incredible he is in between those ropes. And I it's unbelievable to me that they could knock it out of the park as much as they did in those first 2 episodes of Collision with him versus Matthews and then him versus Brody King. And he just does not get matches since then. I feel like he's wrestled like 2 matches since then. And those were, I think, the first 2 episodes of Collision. And I think he's wrestled twice since then. And I think that there are like 10 or 11 episodes total now. So that means that he's wrestled twice in like 8 or 9 weeks since then.
Yeah.
Like, they're just like, oh yeah, we're going to give the people what they want. We're going to give them Andrade for a moment. And then we're going to take him away again.
Yeah, dude. This is why I can't even really like put Andrade or anything on lists because it always hurts, like because they get him started and it reminds me too, like, man, this guy's fucking good. And then nothing happens. Like I can't even act like I did with Swerve a little bit earlier, that it'd be better for Andrade and WWE because I feel like WWE never really got it either. But if WWE did get it, imagine it, dude. We could be seeing fucking Seth versus Andrade for the world title right now. And like, God, that sounds fucking amazing. No disrespect to Shinsuke. I am looking forward to that program, but
Yeah.
Andrade
Well,
again is
shit,
going to be
Shinsuke could beat Seth for the title and we could get him versus Andrade. Fuck.
oh god. I feel like Andrade is going to be one of those guys, and I've said this about a few performers now, but I think he'll be at the top of the list of those guys where it's like, how did you not see it? How did he not do so much more in his career? I mean, this dude's a fucking genius in the ring, and like I was saying about AR Fox earlier, a fucking man, like has the look for days. So it's so frustrating.
Yeah.
It's so frustrating. But I'm happy that you remain so loyal and so steadfast in your conviction. Like, no, damn it, this guy is good. Push him. That you remember to include him in lists like this every chance you get, because somebody fucking needs to. So happy to hear it, man.
Yep, absolutely. Who's your number two? I think I know who it is, but go ahead.
Johnny TV.
Oh,
Um,
nice. Okay.
yeah, it's Johnny. What more is there really to say?
That's
I've
beautiful. I
seen
love that for you.
enough of his stuff, on Rampage, and I'm like, yeah, he's still got it. I mean, this late in his life and his career, he's still putting on great matches. Um, I will say, him being paired with QT Marshall and like that whole thing, it makes me groan. Really seeing how his career has gone, I will always be thankful to Lucha Underground because we got to see him as a main event guy. We got to see him as a world champion, especially as a heel, where I feel like he's always shined. Because as a face, I know his promos were always a bit more awkward. So he got his time, and I'll always kind of cling to that. But even the stuff he's doing here, where it's like, hey, I'm solid at what I do. I have a great look, and I'm just here to get paid. It's good stuff. If they ever would like heat up in pushing him, either again in that TNT or international title division, which again, Orange Cassidy retaining against him, I just had to groan because I'm like, well, of course he would. I think it'd be cool, and I think I would watch more regularly, or at least keep up with him more regularly. But from what I've seen, it's still Johnny. It's still good, baby. So that's that for me. Who's next on your list?
Next on my list, number one, as a matter of fact, on my list, the best thing going in AEW right now, and I would argue the best thing that they've had going for them since the BCC was first starting and really hot and really cool and really awesome, Mogul fucking Embassy.
I knew it. Yeah, because that encompasses Swerve, AR Fox, and just
It's
everybody. So
Swerve, it's AR Fox, it's Prince Nana. You've got Brian Cage as a part of it. You've got the Gates of Agony as a part of it. It's fucking awesome, dude. Everyone in that group is cool as hell. I love watching everyone in their matches when they work. I know the Gates of Agony had a match last night, but I didn't watch it because it was against like I think like Nick Wayne and I don't even remember who else and that fuck Nick Wayne and everything that that kid represents as far as Tony Khan's hiring practices. And
yeah,
like, yeah, no, I love the Gates of Agony, but as much as I love them, they're not worth having to suffer through the anger that I know I would have felt watching a Nick Wayne match. Um, but dude, yeah, the Mogul Embassy is just amazing. They're so good. Speaking of Nick Wayne, the segment where they went to the Wayne training facility where he was there and they were just beating the shit out of people and they threw the fucking skateboard and the one dude and hit him right in the dome and then they beat the shit out of Nick and Nick was bleeding when they called Darby and they told him that it would be worse next time and stuff like they're just fucking awesome and I feel like they've got to have at least some level of creative control because this feels very much inspired by some shit that Swerve has done in the past on his own. So like I'm just loving it, and I just really, really hope that Tony doesn't do what Tony always does, which is favor white performers.
yes, yes,
Because there's a fucking coffin match happening between AR Fox and Swerve, and Sting and Darby Allen. So I'm guessing
yeah.
Sting and Darby are gonna fucking win that as expected. But man, it would be awesome if AR Fox and Swerve were somehow able to win this feud, or even at least just that match, but preferably the whole fucking feud.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I think it'd be great for them. It'd be a great rub for them. Number one for me, and again, just reminded me how brilliant this person has been. So I thank you for coming into the clutch because it's probably the most authentic name on this list. Well, Johnny TV was too, but I'm really excited to give this person a spot. Athena.
Nice.
I have been loving her work as women's champion to the point where here's the thing. If I wasn't as cynical and just as tired, because I mean, again, you and I, you threw this number out recently. I couldn't believe it. We've been doing TWitWoW 12 years. And I can say for a large part, like I am really tired on a lot of pro wrestling. If I wasn't as tired, I probably would splurge some money on Honor Club and like check out all the stuff that she's done because there's something special happening here
Yeah.
and it's been happening. Uh, I don't think, I don't think this is hyperbole. I think this is just me being honest. And if anybody takes umbrage with it, I mean, by all means, please do. But this is the most I've ever given a shit about the ROH Women's Championship, like ever since its inception. Like I've never paid attention to it until now, and I think that's gotta mean something. Uh, she's incredible. I mean, dude, the idea that this is the same woman, and I love Athena. Obviously, she just made number one, but like in NXT, she was great in ring. She's always been great in ring, but she always had that bit of awkwardness in her promos as a babyface. You look at her promos now, and I know you mentioned this earlier when you had her on your list. There is a confidence there and a conviction there that I'm like, yes, speak on it. Because I think she believes it when she's like, I'm the best women's wrestler today, and I'm taking this championship place it's never been. I mean, who can argue the facts? I agree with you. I think a Yuka Sakazaki feud would be fucking awesome. I think Sheeta said she wants to work with Athena. The idea that Athena is coming out of other women's mouths of, yeah, I'd like to work with her. I really thought, dude, when she got that big injury in WWE, that oh my god, her career's on a downward spiral, and I think it was for a little bit. I can't believe that leaving the E and going to fucking Ring of Honor of all places, which you'd think would be such a downgrade, was the best thing to happen to her career. I would liken it to, and again, I'm just being sincere. I would liken it to when AJ left Impact and he went to New Japan. She completely reinvigorated her career with this shit. I don't know if her value's ever been higher. I'm curious who is going to take the title off of her, and I'm curious what she'll do after the title goes off of her, because if she has any designs to be like, oh, I could try my hand at AEW formally and be women's world champion, I don't know. I don't, because she's so good that I could believe it on a talent level. But I mean, my God, how many times ad nauseum have we talked about, Tony Khan as a booker, the structural problems like internally in AEW with how things are delegated and how things are done. I think it would eat her alive. I think it would be WWE all over again, maybe even a bit worse. Um, but I don't know, man. She's just doing great stuff right now, and all we can really comment on is the present. And the present belongs to Athena, 100%. She's fantastic. So that rounds out my list. That rounded out your list. So now we can move on to New Japan, which this was one of the easier New Japan periods in a while because we covered the G1.
Yay, G1!
Yeah, I mean, even covering select matches, I feel like it gave us enough raw material to cobble together some lists. So I will get us started, mein Freund, by naming my honorable mentions. So from 5 to 1 in the honorable mentions, the B team, number 5, Great Okan. Really wish he would have won more matches this G1. I think he's got an unorthodox style, great look. 4, ELP, really compelling as a babyface, I think. Especially that match with Kenta showed that he could take a beating and keep going. In a way that was believable, too, because he caught him. And I like that, too. It wasn't like some weird flippy shit, whatever. 3, Shota Umino. Kind of surprised. Didn't expect to like him as much as I did. 2, Naito. Some of his matches were the best that Naito has looked in the last few years to me.
Yep.
So it was great to see that. And 1, Shane Haste. Made a fucking believer out of me. I'll tell you.
Nice. I love to
I,
see it.
I forgot how good he was. In fact, I may never even known him in the first place. So kudos to you, Shane. Who is your honorable mentions?
For me, at the very bottom, so effectively number 5 on my B team, Hiroshi Tanahashi.
Nice.
Number 4, Sanada.
Nice.
Number 3, Zack Sabre Jr.
Cool.
Number 2, I was a little surprised that he wasn't in my Fave 5, but he just barely missed it, Jeff Cobb.
Ooh.
And number 1, Shota Umino.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm confident that this guy is going to be on both of our lists. I don't know if the same number, though. Number 5 for me, Suji.
You are correct that he is on my list, but I won't say where.
Sneaky devil. All right. Just real quick, because he is only number 5. I mean, yeah, the only reason he didn't rank higher was that the people that were above him, I really like them this grading period. I think I will.
Yay.
Yeah, like I will be very enthusiastic about Suji in the future. I'm just still a bit tentative because I don't know where he is in New Japan's eyes. And I think, listen, people, I've been doing TWitWoW for 12, been a wrestling fan for over 20. I have been hurt a lot, okay? So I am very reserved to who I give my heart to. Especially if I know the wrestling company's like, oh, you want to love them? We're gonna hurt you every day of your fucking life. And it's like, oh, okay. Gonna suck that tear back in and move on to the next one.
Life as a Keith Lee fan.
Yeah, I know I'm talking to the right people, especially you, Javaris. Big hugs. But Suji's great. I mean, has an amazing look. I know I've been saying this about a lot of the men, And people are wondering, John, are you thirsty right now? Like, I live in the goddamn Sahara, baby. But what a man. Again, just goddamn. That smile is just endearing enough, but when it lingers for more than 5 seconds, I'm like, oh, he's creeping and maybe peeping, but definitely creeping. But it works. It works. I think he's got the goods physically, and I'm not just talking about aesthetic. Like in the ring, this dude's a fucking beast. The speed with which he could snap certain moves off. His spear, I would still put Braun's spear above his for me personally, as far as the best spear in the business. But I would put Suji right below him. I do hope one day he will be world champion. I loved his match with Sonata at Dominion. Loved his performances in the G1 that we watched. I think he gave Hikuleo his best match personally. And yeah, just big fan of the guy. So who begins your New Japan Fave Five, sir?
Number 5 for me, Tetsuya Naito.
Yes. All right. Good shit.
Yeah, he's there's definitely a lot of moments where it's like, oh, he's getting old. He's not as good as he used to be. He can't move the way he used to, but man, he compensates for it with that psychology and the storytelling and the selling and all the other stuff that you don't need to be an elite athlete in order to pull off. He is really, really good at it. And his match with Okada in the finals, oh my God, so good.
Definitely. Definitely. The guy still got it, man, where it counts.
Yep.
4 for me, Kenta. Pretty frustrating waiting
Ooh,
period for him
yes.
as far as the G1 goes. But I mean, I love that this dude got to really do things on his own terms because I have to like putting myself in his headspace. That whole time in WWE had to be fucking miserable, because it's
Yeah.
like I built this profile in Noah doing these amazing fucking matches with Marufuji and doing things that people, even if they had seen them before, they hadn't seen me do them before. And I'm a killer and I'm this and I'm that. And, he got the injury, which is even worse because it's like, okay, it's one thing to not be used, but now my value has just objectively diminished in the eyes of a lot of people, probably because I am coming, as damaged goods partially with the shoulder and everything else. But to know that he's come to New Japan and really had a solid fucking career and he's still having great matches and even as a character, because even when the matches do, as they all do with time, slow down and stuff, and we see more and more like, oh, those kicks aren't as strong as they used to be. He's so fucking funny and he's so fucking endearing as a
Yeah.
character. Like, yeah, I love this dude. I honestly, how you could have him answer to David Finlay makes me sick because I would have loved a Kenta incarnation of the Bullet Club where he's leading just straight up. But either way, the dude's doing great. Yeah, I'm really, really grateful that he got to do this in New Japan for all these years. And then he's still going strong. So who's next on your list?
Number 4 on my list is Shane Haste.
Nice. Well, you're not making waste of that Fave Five.
I am not. I'm making haste to make sure that I'm efficient with it because this dude's fucking great.
Yes. Yes.
He's amazing. He's really, really entertaining. He legit reminds me of Pat McAfee at times. The outfit that he wore to the press conference for the G1 made him look a lot like McAfee because it was just so outlandish and wacky, and it's adorable. And he is really, really, really good at wrestling. And I think that alone means that, like, imagine if Pat McAfee really dedicated himself to this and was like 5, I think, years younger or so. I think Haste is at least that much younger. Shane Haste, Pat McAfee. Shane is 37. McAfee is 36. So actually, they're almost the same age. Holy shit! I didn't realize
Wow.
McAfee was that young. I thought Pat was in his 40s.
Yeah,
Wow.
me too. That is crazy.
Damn. I legit I figured Shane was in his late 30s. I thought Pat was in his early 40s, so that's why I said 5 years. I didn't realize Pat was only 36 years old. Holy shit. That's wild. Fuck, I feel old now because I'm 33 almost. Wow. Anyway, so God, now I'm gonna have an existential crisis. Anyway, so yeah, but
Stay with
yeah,
me. Stay with me.
yeah, no, Shane's great. He's basically what if Pat McAfee, got into wrestling instead of football, and we just had that type of athlete with that type of personality in pro wrestling. And oh yeah, he's Australian, so he's got that type of sense of humor too, and it's great. He's awesome, and his match with Naito in the 5-star or in the G1 was a legit match of the year contender for me.
Yeah. Yeah, fantastic. Number 3 for me, Alex Coughlin.
Same. We share this one. Yes.
I feel like I have a quota to say one really fucked up thing on this podcast a month. And
Yes, and
so
I'm
filling
sure
that.
that we've probably even heard this before from you about Coughlin, huh?
Well, no, just to put it as bluntly as possible, toxic masculinity has never looked more appealing to me.
Okay, so
Watching this.
similar. I mean, you've said before that you want him to stay angry at everyone forever.
Yeah, I'm just taking it a step further. Like, this man actively makes me want to regress because I feel like maybe I chose the wrong horse. Wow, what a pissed off piece of shit. And how fucking entertaining for the rest of us. On a real note, I want to hear more promos from this dude because I did enjoy his stuff at the press conference. Um, his power is absolutely insane. I think my favorite spot, and I can't believe it because it just seems so basic on the surface, but I think my favorite spot in the whole fucking tournament was him catching the high fly flow and turning it into a bridging pin. Like, it's still something I think about,
That
and I'm
was
like,
nuts. Yeah.
I can't believe he fucking did that. Since he's the same number for us, I think I'm going to table it here and just say I really look forward to seeing more from him, and he's probably one of the best guys to come out of Shibata's dojo. So what do you want to say about Coughlin?
His strength is what really blew my mind during this tournament. The fact that we've literally seen him deadlift Jeff Cobb was absolutely mind blowing to me. He's so insanely strong, and like he looks like he'd be strong, but he doesn't look like he'd be that strong, you know? Like
Yeah,
he's freaky strong. Like it's like that Roderick Strong factor where like we used to see like because I think it was Excalibur that used to call it freaky Roddy strength, right? It was like
yeah.
it's like Roderick Strong doesn't look like he'd be a power wrestler, but like he can deadlift big dudes that you would never expect someone his size to be able to do. Alex Coughlin is that, but like turned up a few notches because he looks like he'd be able to do feats of strength, but he does even more impressive shit than even Roddy, I feel like. Because I don't think Roddy would be able to deadlift Jeff Cobb.
No, I respect Roddy immensely as an in-ring performer, but I don't think so. I don't think so.
But yeah, Alex Coughlin is freaky strong and really intense and a lot of fun to watch wrestle. And, you know, it's funny because his G1 press conference promo was like weirdly babyface and like kind of made New Japan as an entity look like shit.
I mean, not that they need any help doing that these days. I mean, the
True.
Ibushi situation,
Well,
like,
you're
fuck.
more talking about from a product standpoint, though. I'm more talking like from a corporate standpoint.
No, me too though, because
Oh,
I even said I know you didn't hear this part because admittedly I said it low and I got my mic thing on, but like the Ibushi situation, I feel like
yeah,
was really the start of that, and like us
yeah,
talking about ghetto sexism, like yeah, I
yeah.
think the product is fucking raccoon ass too, but fucking
Raccoon ass. Oh my
yeah, like I just I just on the corporate side, yeah, when
god.
Coughlin called him out, I'm like, yeah, Coughlin, work that shoot. It was great, and I hope the Brawny man stops being such a fucking mark after this. Alex Coughlin should be aspirational for all mustachioed men everywhere.
Nice.
Um, so I guess because we shared it, do you go next with your number 2
No, you
then?
do.
Okay, I do. I knew one of us did. Um, the way I'm going to talk about this guy, you'd think he'd be number 1, and who knows, maybe he should be, because really this is the first time on a really just any list that I feel like it was more 1A, 1B, but it was really
Oh,
close.
okay.
Two is Jeff Cobb.
Nice,
And
nice.
why I said the way I'm going to talk about him, you think that he should be number 1 because I'll just be straight up. I get why Naito won. I get the story, but it felt so much like Jeff Cobb's year. Like I really there was a point where I really wanted him to win this. And when he was out, I'm like, okay, there was another person I wanted to win, which I don't want to, say the name right away because they are actually my number 1. But man, what a tournament Cobb had. Beating Naito was huge. I look forward to that briefcase defense. I think that should be a great match. Those two always have great matches together. The idea that their Wrestle Kingdom match, fucking Cobb was hurt and it was as good as it was, and then both of them being healthy or at least healthy-ish here just shows you that yeah, these guys just have chemistry. I
Yep.
think their briefcase match is going to be awesome. I say it all the time. This dude's a generational athlete. He's a fucking beast. Has a great look. A bit shaky on the mic, admittedly, because I heard some of the promos. I'm like, that's okay. But in my mind, the best thing the United Empire has going, fuck Ocean Spray. Um, or as you said recently, and I loved it, oh shit spray. Gotta remember that one. Um, Cobb is absolutely fantastic. He did beat Zach as well, so Cobb, honestly, if you put the world television title on him, title looks like a piece of shit, but I think Cobb, with his presence, would make it look good.
That fucking
Yeah, man.
rectangular ass emerald thing.
Yeah, exactly. Fucking, what do you, ghetto? Just no, no. Again, that's the second time I've just wanted to rant. I am Alex Coughlin because I'm so angry right now, and I'm
That's
like,
why you love him so much and why you want him to stay angry so that you can just live vicariously through him while working on yourself.
okay, you were half right. I don't know if any work's happening here. Let's not get carried away. But yes, living vicariously, like, yes, Kings, stay mad. It's the forever mood. But no, Cobb, I really do feel like low key got robbed. Again, I get it, and I'm happy for Naito, and I get it. But Cobb was just stellar this year, and I feel like if he would have won the tournament, nobody would have really batted an eye, because he's just so believable. I mean, and so girthy. It's very impressive. So, who is next on your list?
Next up on my list, number 2 is Yota Tsuji.
That fucking high. I love it. Talk about it,
I mean,
King.
to be fair, he was number 1 on my list last, or no, he was number 2 for me last time too.
I honestly don't remember that. So, wow.
He just stays at number 2, bruh.
Yeah. Interesting.
He's
You're
really
still loving
fun
what
though,
he's doing.
man. Yeah, his matches with Sonata, Kiyomiya, and Umino were all really fucking fun.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
I had a
He's
lot of fun
fantastic
with
in the
all
ring.
3 of those, and he just kind of. I will say, I think he regressed in my mind. It's just at the tiniest little bit. Like the excitement from that initial Sonata title match at Dominion wore off just the tiniest bit.
Yeah.
But he's still like going out there and proving that it wasn't a fluke, you know?
Yeah, for sure. For
So
sure.
yeah, like he's great. I really enjoy him. His athleticism is insane. His intensity is nuts. His power is all there. I love his move set. He's just really fun, man. He's really fun to watch wrestle.
I
He's
agree, man.
he's a breath of fresh air in the New Japan heavyweight division, which is
Oh,
something they've desperately needed for years.
yes. Yes. Agreed on all counts. Beautifully said. Number one for me, Zack Sabre Jr.
There it is.
Uh, just enjoy my technical wrestling.
I thought he
Uh,
would win it, dude. I legit was picking him to win the whole time. And he didn't even make it to the semis, I don't think.
um, I just want to extend to Okada my sincerest gratitude for being the performer that he is, and to show how not bitter I am about him beating Zach again. I wanted to invite Okada to get into the usual Ferrari, drive right up to my ass, and eat both cheeks. Just he go fuck himself. No, look, Ok- Okada, Okada's great. I'm so tired of saying that. But so tired of saying that. But yeah, him beating Zach, I'm like, oh wow, bullshit. Because here's the thing. I'm just gonna let the cat out of the bag because we're removed enough from it. I did get spoiled on who won the G1. I still wanted to give great reactions for you guys.
Oh,
But
wow.
here's the thing, bro. Well, I had told you, bro. You're like, oh, did you get spoiled on the winner? I'm like, yep. And you were like, damn. So we did our classic one-word responses. But when I saw that Naito won, I'm like, oh, well, maybe Zach at the very least made the final. Didn't even make that because Okada was like, yeah, about that, Zach. No, your journey ends here. Good luck with television meaty something or other. It's the mighty don't kneel. Yeah, whatever. I'm too rich to pay attention to it. And then he just kind of fucking drives off with his push that just never stops. Yeah, Zach had a good run, some really entertaining matches. I should have known that he wasn't gonna win because he already has that fucking vomit championship. But I gotta tell you, man, the thought of him and Sonata main eventing a Wrestle Kingdom together low-key gave me goosebumps. I really, I'm still gonna be there because I think Sonata and Naito can do something really great together.
Yeah.
But ZSJ Sonata would have been such a different main
We're
event,
also
dude. Like I think,
probably getting Danielson Okada at Wrestle Kingdom, and that's also exciting.
Okada can finally get that win back. The struggle was so real for the Rainmaker. God, Okada, seriously, just eat my ass. And yeah, I don't know who Zach will be defending the title against. Maybe Jeff Cobb again. You know, Cobb did beat him. I know somebody else beat him. I think maybe it was Goto, possibly. Uh,
Oh.
but yeah, how about Go No? Because that's no.
I
Um,
see what you did there.
I would hope so. I hope Ghetto sees it too, you bold fuck. So yeah, can you tell that I'm just totally like in love with New Japan?
Yeah, and I'm
So
living for it.
so yeah, Zach is great. I understand the praise that Danielson gives him, although to temper it just a little bit, I still put Danielson above Zach as
Hmm.
far as best technical wrestlers because I do get the problem that a lot of people have with Zach's matches that he does so much, but his win rate is just seemingly so much lower. Although he had pretty strong win rate here. It's like he should just win every match when he's able to work over a limb. I wish the psychology overall in the matches, not just from Zach personally, but in the matches, would be tweaked a little bit, but there is a lot to enjoy here. And I'm finally starting to come around to his new look and everything else and him leading this faction. Grateful to Shane Haste for being a loyal foot soldier, you know, giving Zach the opportunity. It's okay, Shane. Nobody's ready for Okada seemingly. So yeah, that rounds out my New Japan Fave 5. Who's number 1 for you though? I'm curious who topped it cuz Naito came in, what wasn't he number 4?
Yeah. Oh wait, Naito was number 5 for me actually.
Oh, not 5. Yeah, I was gonna say it was at the bottom, but I was hesitant. And then we know Suji came in at 2, so who came in at 1?
Well, I mean, I kind of want to tell you, but he's busy eating your ass right now.
Oh my god, really?
Yeah, buddy, Okada's number 1.
You know what? I feel like we all need something douchey to grab onto. I'm glad you have this because I can't be the only one just turning up and being ridiculous. So if this is the only 1%er that you'll simp for, I approve. Honestly, it works.
Yeah. It's one of those things where, like, you know how we love Roman Reigns because he's just
Yes.
such a dick and he's just such a gaslighter and he's such a good, effective heel. And, like, we let him get away with being the top guy for as long as he has been because of how compelling he is. That's Okada,
Yes.
but he's a babyface and he's still really good at it.
Yeah. I mean, him shooting on Tonga Loa was pretty interesting. I mean, backstage, he didn't shoot him
Yeah.
in the ring because he's consummate pro, but
Your moves have no passion in them.
yeah, man, he really went in, my guy.
Bro, the fact that he sold them, I felt so bad for him in that match. Oh my god.
You know, honestly, I'm so glad you mentioned that because that does gratify me a little because I'm just imagining Okada dying inside selling that. He's like, I miss Shibata, or I miss Ibushi, or I miss somebody that would actually give me a reason to sell.
I miss it when Suzuki was in these.
Oh, dude, that is one thing I've been hankering for to Okada's credit. I could go for a Suzuki Okada match, man. God
Yeah,
damn.
they were
But please,
always awesome.
this is your time, so please continue singing the praises of Okada.
Okay, well, yeah, I mean, he's the ace for a reason. He's just I think it really is just the psychology with him and the way that he is able to, like, you know what moves he's going to use, and you even sometimes know what order he's going to use them in, and you know that he's always going to be fishing for opportunities to use those moves. But the way that he uses those moves in a specific order, and, like, it's like there's like a certain level of hype to his matches because of that ability to predict what's going to happen next. It's like how do I describe this? It's like when you're trying to, like, how do I put this? It's okay. It's like a game, right? It's like you're playing like a platformer game, but there are checkpoints. And, like, each time Okada hits one of his big signature moves, it's like you reach a checkpoint. It's like, oh shit, we got this far. There's no turning back now. That kind of thing. And then, yeah, like
Yeah.
when you reach the end of the level, that's the Rainmaker because you just know it's over.
Yeah. Yeah, Okada, no doubt. Very bright future ahead for the young man. Jesus Christ.
I mean, you say it sarcastically, but, like, do you know how young he still is?
He's like, what, 36 now?
35?
What?
He's He's younger than like 85 to 95% of the main eventers in WWE still.
Oh my god, it's never gonna end.
He's younger than Roman. He's younger than the Usos. He's younger than Sammy and Kevin. He's younger than, I think, Riddle. He's younger than Gunther. He's younger than almost all of them. I think the only ones that he's not younger than are like Solo Sikoa and Austin Theory.
Oh boy.
And Dominic Mysterio, I should mention him too.
Oh, finally, somebody that can challenge Okada for the throne. No, he's goated. There's no doubt about that.
He's
But
pretty fantastic.
God, that goddamn money clip. Fucking hell.
Dude,
All
I
right.
still get hyped for it every time.
Dude, I know you do, and unironically, it's fucking precious. Because I'm like, what are you doing? And you're just like, it's over, man. And if nothing else, it's over with me.
It is. It really, really is. The fact that this motherfucker was so OP that he really said, I'm not even going to use my best move, and I'm still going to win like 80% of my matches.
Chamara's out here straight up being like, money clip greater than Raymond. You're fucking drunk or some shit. What the hell? Oh my god, what am I gonna do with you people?
I think it's Stardom time. I think it's time for our Stardom lists.
Yes, I was gonna say now time to get to my favorite part of these fucking recordings, the Stardom list. But I believe I gave my honorable mentions first on New Japan, so you can go first on Stardom, good sir.
All right, I get to work my way up from basically the 10 spot. I think you might be thrown for a little bit of a loop by these. One specifically because you'll be surprised that they're not on my Fave 5, and one specifically because you're surprised that I rank them at all. Ready?
Yes.
Micah is number 10.
Sweet.
Saori Ano is number 9.
Interesting.
Momo Watanabe is number 8.
Okay.
Mayu Iwatani is number 7.
Cool.
And Julia is number 6.
Okay. Not a surprising issue. I think Ano's the most surprising one.
Yeah.
So Fave 5 for me. I can't wait to be shot over this. Number 5, Suzu Suzuki. Number 4, Mei Sera. Number 3, Micah. 2, Azumi. And 1, and I'm going to be totally truthful, she was probably going to make my Fave 5, but that injury and everything, I want to kind of keep this is more emotionally protecting myself. Saya Kamitani came in at number 1.
You think you're emotionally protecting yourself? I don't even have her on my list.
Yeah, goddamn. I don't blame you, dude. It really fucking sucks.
Truthfully, there's also just like the factor of like she didn't have any banger matches during this grading period that I can remember.
Well, I mean, the cage match was in this grading period, and I loved her character work in that.
It was?
It should have been. Stardom and Sunshine. What date did that show take place?
Oh my god, did I forget about that?
Stardom
yeah,
and
it
Sunshine.
was. It was. You're right. It was. Wow.
Fucking pulled it. That's why I'm saying.
You know
man,
what though, dude? I'll say this. I still think that match makes more sense for it to affect your rankings than mine.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But yeah, just emotionally protecting myself. I don't want anybody to think that I was slighting Saya, because like I really loved her character work, especially this grading period. Just for it all to end the way that it did, no, I gotta,
Yeah,
so.
I have to admit, I feel bad because I wish I would have remembered to put Mei Seda on something.
Do you want to make a change up in your list?
No.
Okay. I just wanted to give you the chance because we can do last minute changes. I literally did for AEW earlier, so yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave it the way it is, but I just need to make more of a point to try and remember May for next time.
There you go. So then, who inaugurates your list, partner? Who's number 5?
Well, and this is a big reason why, because number 5 for me is Azumi.
Okay.
And I'm like, well, do I want to put May above Azumi? No. And then I'm like going up my list, and I just can't imagine putting May above anyone on my list. And then I'm looking at my honorable mentions, and like the highest I could imagine putting May is like above Momo. But then like, who do I kick off my list out of Momo, Ano, and Micah? And I just don't want to do anything.
Yeah.
So
yeah, definitely makes sense.
I'm just gonna stick with everyone where I have them. Azumi at number 5.
Yeah, I mean, talk about it.
She's been fantastic lately. I feel like she's really starting to kind of hit a stride right now, like over the course of the last like 3 or so weeks, 2 or 3 weeks maybe. She's really killing it. I mean, we literally just watched her get that huge pinfall victory over. Help me out here, John. Who did she just beat?
Sauriano in the 5 star.
Ano. That's right. She just beat Ano, which was huge. Um, and then didn't she also just get another? Like, isn't she up to 4 points now? Didn't she get 2 straight wins in the 5 star recently?
I believe she did. I forget the first person she beat though.
Oh wait, shit. Okay, Azumi cage match. I really don't want to get spoiled, but I'm gonna try my best to
Because I know
avert my
Mirai beat her,
eyes. Um.
and I know Mariah May beat her.
Okay, no, never mind. She didn't. Ano is her only win so far in the 5 star.
Oh, okay.
But still, I was it at the pay per view Stardom X Stardom that she won?
Against Ano.
No. Never mind. She was in a tag match on that show. I feel like Azumi has been doing more like cool shit lately. Maybe I'm making that up in my mind, but I just feel like she's been doing a lot of cool shit lately and kind of on a roll. But maybe, you know what?
Yeah.
Maybe it's because she's been doing better with Miyu. She as O2 line, they've been doing cool stuff lately.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Plus,
No,
yeah,
I
the
think
win
yeah.
over Ano was huge, and like, since this does include basically like 2 months, that does also include the cage match that you talked about, the loser leaves unit thing with Azumi also in it.
Yes.
Yeah, and QQ just kind of in general is a little bit more on the up and up right now.
For sure. I mean, let's remember in that cage match, Ozumi had the spot with the fire extinguisher taking out Kashima.
True.
You could in a way say that the biggest thing Ozumi did this grading period was get Kashima excommunicated from Oedo Tai. So
And then even afterwards, she was the first one to reach out and be like, I know that I'm also high speed, but you could join us, I guess.
oh, I know. It was so nice. Oh god, I was so excited for the new Queen's Quest, and then just everything happened. Number 5 for me, Starlight Kid.
Oh,
Um,
we parallel each other. I love that for us.
yeah, but see, here's the difference, and I say this in commendation of you, not as an indictment or whatever. You were able to look at the positive. I am less so. Kid is still really solid, and I still really enjoy her. And what she did in this grading period, just from an in ring, and I like her new look, was enough. But I've been saying, and you guys can check me on this. I know I've been consistent. I have been saying I want Kid to do more stuff in singles. Personally,
She's
I'll
been
come out
doing
and
a lot of talking about the white belt, man. They are really hinting at that big time.
yeah, I know because dude, I was just gearing up to say before you said that. I saw that interview she did because I know, the tweets were posted and everything. Good. Good. I don't know. I'm guessing it's a work because everything's a fucking work. But even if there was some real feeling there, good. I mean, Kid's been working her ass off, as has Azumi. They really should be at the forefront of where this company wants to go in the next 5, 10 years. And yeah, I'm sick of her doing the tag team stuff. Honestly, like I'm ready for some kind of shakeup in Oedo Tai, personally. I was happy to see she beat Natsuko in the 5 star. I don't think it's going to lead to anything, because I still agree with you that I think Natsuko's just going to win the block and it's going to be her and Utami in the finals. But yeah, Kid is absolutely fantastic. I just feel like she's been so cooled down. And I want to go back to the Starlight Kid that I came on this very same series and ranted about how she was going to take her place as one of the best wrestlers in the world. And I feel like it's not her fault that she feels farther away from that because I think her work is still as crisp, still as good, still as amazing as it's always been. It's just there's no meat on the bone. She's gnawing at just pure bone right now. Now, if she is on a collision course with Mirai, cool, but I would want her to win. And I don't even know if she's going to win. So yeah, Kid's in a very interesting place. Still strong enough to make my ranking that I'm never going to forget about her. But like, let's kick it up here, Stardom. Come on now. So who is next on your
Kick it
list?
up a notch. My number 4. I'm hoping that my number 4 is your number 1 and my number 1 is your number 4 so that we can continue to parallel each other. My number 4 is Utami Hayashishita. Boom, baby.
Yes, talk about our Red Queen.
She's just so fucking talented and wonderful and radiant and powerful. And like this grading period, because it included the cage match, that means that it also included the excursion to America that Utami had, where she had matches with Billy Starks and Janai Kai and Lufisto, and that's just awesome for her, and I'm very happy for her. She even had a match on Ring of Honor against, I want to say, Trish Adora? I think I even watched that match, or at least most of it, because she won it with the hijack bomb, and it was really good. It was really nice to see her break that move out in America because she beat Billy Starks with the torture rack bomb. So it was good to see her still be using her main finisher as her finisher in the U.S. God, I just love watching Utami work, man. The power is really like the main draw there. She's so strong and she wields it so effectively. It's really great.
Isn't it amazing to wake up in a world where she's queen of everything? Like, I just,
It will be when she wins the 5-star and then wins the red belt. Yes, I'm glad I could give you those tinglies. You're welcome.
sucking that back in.
No, no, let it back out. Let it
Oh no,
breathe.
no, trust
Let
me,
it
friend. It'll be
exist among the
no.
peers.
Look, man, it'll be better the second time, I promise. But continuing my list, the perfect girlfriend comes in at number 4,
Oh
Saori Ano.
no! I love that for you and me. She's not my number one though, obviously, because she was in my honorable mentions.
Yes. Do you want to know I'm asking this sincerely. You want to know the most incredible thing about Ano to me? This
Ooh,
woman is
God, there's
so
such
weird.
a long list. I don't
I
know.
I know. It's like that one Batman villain told Terry McGinnis. Do you know how little that narrows it down? But no, it's so weird seeing her as a babyface because and she's stunning and radiant and everything. So many women in Stardom are, but especially her because there's also like that air of class about her. But like she has this look on her face of almost like perpetual disdain. And like she feels like such a natural heel to me with her look and how she carries herself. It's weird seeing her as a babyface right now, which maybe she isn't because she's a part of Cosmic Angels, which is fucking unhinged. But she's the best angel they've got. I can't stand Poi, and I really can't stand Tam, particularly the booking, because Tam as a wrestler is still fantastic, but we are in a Tam Hogan era, and I'm not necessarily here for it. Ano, though, feels the most grounded in the faction. Um, Loved her match with Julia, loved her match with Azumi, have been loving the stuff she's done in Cosmic Angels. The match with Poi was okay. I enjoyed the character work more afterwards. Her match with Mariah was great. She's now one half of the Gazas champs. Hate that Rose Gold dropped it already, but that may be a rant to come a bit later from one of us in this commentary. I don't know. But yeah, Ano's just fantastic. You could put the Wonder title, hell, you could maybe even put the World title on her. I really wouldn't bat an eye about it. I think, yeah, that makes all the sense in the world to me. So, yeah, that's Saori Ano, the perfect girlfriend. Just absolutely astounding. Who's next on your list?
Number 3, Mariah May.
Oh, wait, do we have the? Yes, we have the same number 3. So you go first.
Amazing. I'm so happy that we shared this one. More parallels on our list. She's fucking incredible, dude. I cannot believe that this woman, who when she first showed up, I was genuinely annoyed that Mina got brought back with a fucking Barbie doll and an anti vaxxer by her side. I was like, fuck, they're trying to ruin Mina. I can't believe they're doing this. And it worked out so goddamn well because the anti vaxxer left so quickly. And even while she was here, she wasn't that bad. I actually did admittedly enjoy Zaya's work in the ring while she was here, and she does have a certain adorable factor. Still doesn't overcome the anti-vax sentiments, but still, Mariah has been such a fucking get for this company. Oh my god, her match with Julia that we just reacted to yesterday. I'm so glad I'm telling you right now, John, if that match wasn't part of this grading period, if we hadn't gotten around to that before going live today, I don't know if she'd be this high. I might have put her at 4 or 5. That match
Yeah.
catapulted her for me. That match was so fucking good. It wasn't a match of the year candidate, but it was damn close.
Yeah, just because we share the same slot, I'll say very quickly, Ashton, performers like Mariah May, in a weird, perverse way, almost made me grateful that the Divas era did happen and that stigma occurred because that's immediately where your mind goes, right? Like you even said, oh, I can't believe they paired this Barbie with Mina because that's probably everybody's first reaction, but that's probably where a lot of her value comes from. That's probably what she wants because then when you actually watch her work and you're attentive to it, she blows your goddamn mind. And like that's why I think one reason why her value is so high is that she works actively against the stigma and she's winning. And that's the beautiful thing. Her match with Azumi was fantastic, saved Azumi's life straight up from breaking her fucking neck. And then turned it into content for herself as a character, tweeting out, you'll die when I say you can die, Azumi. She knows how to use social media. She
And did
knows
you
how to
notice, by
market.
the way, she's also kind of doubled down on that exact spot because against Julia, when she went to do the sunset flip powerbomb, she didn't just immediately plop Julia down on the mat. She walked away from the apron and powerbombed her basically in the exact same spot she powerbombed Azumi.
Yes.
Did you notice that when she did it?
Yeah, I did. I did, and I loved it. This woman just fucking and remind you, dude, she's only 24 years old. Like, amazing. Amazing how talented this woman is. I'm so excited for her fucking future. I love that when again people were deriding her like, "Oh, she's just another diva or whatever," clearly telling on themselves that they never watched her fucking work. She quote tweets one of the tweets with like a gif of her doing the sling blade, which I've taken to calling the May blade on commentary. And she says, "Oh, this was taken from my favorite diva, Tanahashi." Like
Oh
I
my god, I love that so dude, and can I just say too, she does it faster than Tanahashi's ever done it, even in his prime.
yes.
She
Yes.
does it with such a snap to it, it's incredible.
Yeah, dude.
Speaking of snap, I also love that she's starting to name her moves, like her missile drop kick. She calls it the Mariah missile. Her backdrop driver that she does, she calls it bend and snap, which is a reference to fucking what's that Reese Withers, Legally Blonde. She's so fucking smart. I love her.
And that's the word, bro. She's got such a great sense for the business. Not just ring sense, but just sense for the business. She knows that she's a character. She knows to market herself at all times. That's one reason why the vlog I think is so smart. She has her own store where she does like pretty much cameos, but like on her terms, right? Like you go to her site, you could pay for one. I've thought about buying one, just ask her like, hey, what's on the Club Venus playlist? Because that was my whole kind of shtick for a while when Club
Nice.
Venus had
Yeah.
more members. Um, and she knows like if I'm not out here promoting myself, that's money I'm losing. I don't necessarily want to say grind set because I know how toxic that is within the capitalist system, but this woman's hustle's undeniable. And I'm telling you, if Rossi wanted to put the world title on her, she'd blow fucking B Priestley out of the water.
Oh my
Like
god, easily.
she's so good, dude. She's so good, honestly, it's not even fair because she's so young. And the only
She,
thing
dude, I think she literally just turned 25, like within the last month or two.
Okay, so she's 25 now because like I knew it wasn't that long ago she was only 24. That's why I said. But even so, dude, like to be
Dude,
25
she
and to know
literally just turned 25 not even 2 full weeks ago.
Okay, so yeah, you could forgive me then for being wrong on that. Um, but to be 25, dude, and to already know so much about the business and to know how to conduct yourself and carry yourself, the only thing that leaves me a bit jaded and has nothing to do with Mariah and everything to do with me and just being around the business so long as a fan, I have to imagine she's gonna want to go to WWE one of these days. And like
Dude,
I'm just gonna
I
yeah.
don't even know for sure. It might be like she builds such a name for herself in Stardom that WWE makes her an offer she can't refuse. Because I don't know necessarily that she is like, oh, working in WWE has always been my dream. I think working in Japan has always been her dream. I think she's one of those types.
I hope none of us ever wake up then if that's the case. And I will say this, and I know Mariah can understand English, so this is one of the few times that I'm talking actually at a wrestler on these, that it might actually matter, or at the very least, it's not completely wasted. Mariah, you do what you want to do. We will always support you because you're brilliant. But I'm telling you, from where I sit, they wouldn't know what to do with you. You're that fucking good. You're too good for them, honestly. I think they'd see her and they would start her out in the ring. But I don't know if she would become a valet within like 6 months or whatever. This woman belongs in a ring. She deserves to be decorated with championships. And I'll say it. And this is only going to be a taste of the fucking turned up that I'm getting. It's a shame that her first title reign in Stardom has ended already. I
I mean,
loved
dude,
her and Nina
literally,
Jabbers got
if
a
they
chance.
couldn't figure out what to do with fucking Emma,
Yeah.
yeah, I genuinely think that if you are a beautiful woman, and I mean like conventionally attractive, beautiful, like model beautiful, and you go
Yeah.
to WWE, it is a negative. It works against you if you're also an actual good wrestler because they don't know what to do with you.
Yeah. Yeah. I I really feel like, yeah, if she would ever want to go there again, I would support her as an individual, but she's too goddamn good for that company. And you know, even though Stardom has been getting the side eye a little bit more from me lately, including how they booked her and Mina most recently to drop the titles already to Ano and Poi. Uh, Mariah's stock is still on the up and up. I'm praying, if we're talking about things we want from Mariah and we hope for Mariah, I am praying she beats Mirai in the fucking 5-star. Because let me tell you, if
Yes.
Kid or Azumi aren't going to be the next white belt champion, we already know Azumi lost to Mirai, and Kid's in Red Star's block anyway. Mariah May, Wonder of Stardom champion, you are not going to hear a fucking peep out of me with those
Fuck
words.
yeah. To me, literally the next White Star or the next Wonder of Stardom champion, I feel like should happen no later than like October. I think Mirai needs to lose that title as soon as possible. She can't lose it soon enough.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. But now with that, since that was your number 3 and I shared it, I guess I will or no, I guess you would give number
Dude,
2
I'm
now.
so curious if we have the same number 2 as well.
We might, dude. Who is it for you?
Mina Shirakawa.
Yeah, same.
Yes.
Fucking same.
Yes.
Fucking same. You go first.
That's fucking incredible. Holy shit. Yes. Again, dude, she continues to fucking evolve. It's incredible, this woman's growth over time, because she first showed up in Stardom. We just knew her as a pretty face, and frankly, Stardom just wanted her to know her as a pretty face with big boobs, because that's all they really promoted her as. Literally, they constantly emphasized her boobs. Tam was always grabbing them. They literally named her team with Tam Dream H, and the H was in reference to her cup size. Like, that's all I wanted her to be, was a booby wrestler. And then, like, she got really good in the ring, first of all, and then she started doing the leg psychology, which was amazing. And now she's doing neck psychology while working it still into the leg psychology, and it's fucking incredible. She's so goddamn good. She keeps getting better. She is unwilling to plateau, and it's incredible to watch. She's so amazing. I love her so much.
If I could just tag on, because I have a lot to say about Mina myself, but I don't want to like cut your legs over underneath you. I just want to
No,
tag
I
on
feel
something
like
that
you. I feel like you let me speak more about Mariah, so I wanted to let you speak more about Mina.
Oh, I appreciate that. So just to tag on to your sentiments, I feel like her focusing on the net more, somewhat, and I want to stress somewhat. I don't want anybody to take the mile with the inch that I'm giving them. Redeems the flashing champions match she had with Tam, because you could almost make the reason of Mina didn't adopt the neck psychology until later, and maybe if she had adopted it earlier, that figure 4 driver Mina especially would have gotten the win. So maybe Mina's thinking, maybe the reason why Tam kicked out of literally my best shot was because I didn't soften up the neck enough and I was still committed to a leg strategy. Maybe that match changed her, how she conducted herself in ring. That's my head canon.
That's
And if
actually
that
great. Dude, that's a great point, because you're right that she didn't adopt the next stuff until after she lost the Wonder Belt to Tam, and that might have legitimately been like she realized, okay, the knee stuff is enough to win me a lot of matches, but it's not enough to win me the world title, and that's what I really need. So I need something new now.
Yeah, I love it, because if I'm even remotely right about that, it just goes to show. Because look, I still hate that fucking match. I mean, let's just be clear. But the idea that Mina can take it and take something positive out of it, of like, okay, you should be affected after big losses. How is this going to change me? If nothing else, how is it going to change my approach to the ring? And we get our answer, and it's amazing. That match she had with Utami was incredible.
Yes.
Um, and
Again,
I'll
a
tell you,
borderline match of the year candidate for me. That and Mariah Julia are the two best matches of the 5 stars so far for me.
yeah, I mean, dude, like, the thing is with Mina, you know that you're a compelling babyface, and she's a babyface, God damn it. Like, anybody that wants to argue that point, argue with the
Hell
fucking wall.
yeah.
She is such a compelling babyface, not since Kairi. Because even Utami, like, I get fired up for her, but there's something about Queen's Quest where I'm like, it just hits different because you know they can handle themselves. That's literally the fucking point. I would fight for Mina Shirakawa, because like I'm seeing how Stardom is doing her, and I'm like, does Cosmic Angels always have to fucking win? Like, I'm getting actively pissed on her behalf,
Yeah.
because I'm like, this woman is out here giving you literally everything, going in, improving, polishing her in ring more than it already was. Dude, I'm telling you, the time is gonna come, even if it only happens for one grading period. She's gonna be number one for one of us. It's gonna happen, dude. Like she's not stopping until she has one of us acknowledge, if not both of us. I'm the best fucking woman here. Show me somebody else. Show me somebody else that does everything I do, that speaks with the passion I do, that actually drops F-bombs and it doesn't feel contrived because it just feels like such a genuine fucking anger and such a genuine, like, I don't want to again say like Austin 97 vibes because again, I saw those promos recently and they were like fucking god tier with how pissed he was, but close. Like, if Mina was to grab a mic and be like, you know what, this company doesn't want to see me as any champion because they love their TAMs or they love their, and she would just rant, I would probably have the bag of popcorn stuff in my fucking face, hanging on every goddamn word. This woman is believable. And she leads a faction whose whole premise is we're hot and we can work. And it's one of the best things in the fucking company. Like, it defies all logic that you and I have cultivated over decades of watching this business.
Yep.
And it's amazing. It's goddamn amazing. If I wasn't such an Utami simp, I would be clamoring for this woman to win the tournament. And in fact, before it really looked like Utami had a possibility to win this fucking thing, I was. If Javaris is still here, he can vouch for me. I got in a Discord call with Javaris, and I said, Javaris, I said to him jokingly, you need to give half of your net worth to Mina Shirakawa winning this tournament, because I was so angry after Flashing Champions, which, let me just acknowledge, was outside of this grading period, but we watched it during the grading period, which is why I got my wires crossed. But just to know that I am keeping my stream separate.
No, we actually
but just
watched it right before the grading period.
right before, okay. But either way, I was so pissed when that happened. I'm like, Javaris, like, no, like, justice has got to be served here. This isn't fair. This isn't right. She keeps getting fucking screwed. And then she won the Goddesses, and I tempered a bit, and now I'm pissed again because fucking Poi and Ano, and all love and respect to Ano, she obviously made my fucking list, but Mina was number 2 and she was number 4. So there you go. That tells you all you need to fucking know. I'm so tired of this woman getting screwed. I'm so tired of this woman not having a proper fucking title. What does she need to do? What is she leads a faction that's genuinely over. She knows how to get them over because the in-ring introductions that she's been doing has caught fire. You know, it's still, you never really hear Stardom crowds be that raucous. I wish you would, but I get why they're not. But, you know, there are portions of the crowd that, you know, do it with her and they pop for the introductions. Brought fucking Mariah in. Mariah genuinely has credited Mina for helping her. So she's actually putting over future talent because Mariah's still young as shit. Like, Mina has been more of a consummate pro wrestler than people that want to believe that they're consummate pro wrestlers. Looking at you, Philip, you fucking piece of shit. Like, I adore this woman. And when she, and I say when because I want to believe it so fucking desperately, when she becomes world champion, it's going to be one of the best days in the fucking business. Because, and I've said it before, and I will say it till I'm blue in the fucking face, which I'm surprised isn't now because I'm using up so much oxygen on this fucking rant. I don't want to hear excuses from anybody. I don't want to hear people come into a Tiffany Stratton's defense or this one's defense. Oh, they've only been working this long. Oh, it's a fuck you. Fuck you. I've seen this woman be fucking ass in TJPW to being one of the best wrestlers in the goddamn industry right now. It's insane. It's insane, and she got dicked over again, and I'm tired. I'm old and I'm tired, Phil. Shut the fuck up. I'm old and I'm tired. Over 20 years I've been watching pro wrestling, and it is so rare. I could count on one hand the number of people I've seen with her passion, her dedication, her packaging, her president, just everything.
Yep.
And she keeps getting better. She doesn't settle. She's doing the next stuff now, like you just said.
Yep.
And it's like, so many people at this stage of their career, if they were in her shoes, nobody can tell me that they wouldn't be complacent, coasting, like, I've got my move set. This is good. This is how my matches go. And Mina's like, oh, no. We're going to take it even higher. How dare you be this good? How dare you be this good? And how dare this fucking company not see how good you are? Fuck this fucking company. Like, that's the first time I'll say it about Stardom. Like, Poi's not that good. Ano might be. I fucking love Ano. I really do. And she has top woman energy, just the way she carries herself. But no. Poi can just go in the fucking corner. She did not deserve this win. She did not deserve this win. Not over those fucking two. Not with the work they've been doing. It's amazing that they are keeping Club Venus alive because it's just the two of them and Waka. And I love this faction so much, mainly because the two of them. I'm rooting for Waka so hard at New Blood to beat Rena to get the future title back in that fucking camp.
That happens
they
tonight
need something.
overnight while we're sleeping.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I'm glad you gave me the floor, man. I appreciate it. I didn't think I'd go this hard with it, but like, Mina Shirakawa is, you know, to put it, you know, bluntly, she's best girl, and to put it more sophisticatedly, she, again, like I said about Gunther, but in a completely different register, she is everything right and good and true about the art of professional wrestling. And everybody Everybody should learn from her. If you're coming to Stardom and you're not pulling her aside, I get pulling the Mayus aside. I even get pulling Tam aside. If you don't think to consult her about match psychology at the very fucking least, you're doing it wrong. You're only going to get to a certain level. This woman will take you higher.
Yeah.
Amazing. Just absolutely fucking amazing.
Can you take me higher?
Yeah, she fucking could take this company higher if they'd fucking trust her for more than 10 seconds. Oh, did you have that nice title reign, Mina, that lasted like a month? Yeah, we're taking it back now. Fuck you. Anyway, who's number one on your list?
Hazuki, of course, as
Of
always.
I blacked out and I actually forgot. So talk about Hazuki.
She hasn't stopped being phenomenal.
Yes, she really hasn't. She really fucking hasn't.
She's still wonderful and incredible and perfect. Like, none of that's changed. So yeah, she's still number one.
Absolutely. Is that all you want to say?
I don't feel like I need to say anything else because I praise her so much every time we do this.
You really don't. So I got the rant out of my system, and you know that
now?
yes. Yeah, well, building up to that, I was just going to say that we pride ourselves on thoughtful analysis and being mature and sophisticated. So I'm gonna take every right step here. Number one is Utami.
Hell yeah, I knew it.
I'm in love with it. Fuck! I said I was gonna be professional and I opened with that. No. She's fuck. Again. God damn it. But no. Wow.
I just realized Hazuki wasn't on your list at all?
Yeah, honestly, she should, much like you with Meisera.
Yeah.
I'm looking at my list, and Hazuki had an amazing grading period, but I kind of like, you know what? I think I'll swap out Hazuki for Suzu, so Suzu will be left off completely. I already twisted the knife inside Javaris, but yeah, I think Hazuki will be at number 5 because, like, I like Suzu, but Hazuki, her work rate is insane. Wow, Javaris said straight up, low key, Cosmic Angels is making me not like Stardom. I wouldn't go that far yet, but I honestly, I can see where you're coming from, Javaris, for sure. But anyway, with Utami, because clearly I already ruined everything when I was like, oh, it's gonna be a good analysis, and I opened with that. Please, Utami, I'm sorry.
You're like, Utami, I'm in love with you.
Yeah, which I am. But to my credit, when I saw the bikini photo shoot she did, and we were live with 5-star action, I still was with it enough to call the fucking bell ring and keep my mind on the match. So, patting my fucking back. But yeah, no, Utami, look, I will say this, because much like Ashton, I really shouldn't be up here long. It would be obnoxious to be. I do want to say, though, that this was the most character development I feel like Utami got this grading period. And I'm so fucking grateful because everybody's like, what's Utami's character? Where's her passion? Where's everything else? That cage match was one of her finest performances ever. Between being a selfless leader and helping other people get over, literally, I think I remember a spot in the match where Hina gets over because she stands on Utami's back. And then fighting by herself against Oedo Tai, getting bloodied up, and then the moment with Saya and the baseball bat.
So
I mean, I cried. And that's the second time I think that Stardom has made me cry. The first one, admittedly, because it's good to be a mark again, was when Waka got her first win and the whole post match there.
Oh, yeah, getting the win over Nanae.
Yeah, Bakahashi. So yeah, Utami, just the character development that she got, and I wanted to see that go further, but and maybe it would have if Saya didn't get hurt, and that's not Saya's fault. I don't mean to say it that way. It's just things happen. But now I want her to win the 5-star, and I've said, like, I want her to be world champion again. I'm tired of Tam Hogan. I want Utami to get her second run, and I want to see what an Utami under this Queen's Quest, after everything they've been through together, can do. And I'm wondering how Kamitani is going to feel when she comes back. But yeah, Utami's just terrific. Utami and Hazuki need to be a tag team at one point, so then both of our number ones can just fucking run roughshod over everybody else.
Like shit's passing in the night. Hazuki got drafted to Oedo Tai literally like 8 months before Utami debuted.
I know, dude. It's tragic. And then plus, if they consolidate their power, then Mina can finally be number one on one of our Fave Fives and just be like, fucking finally. So yeah, that rounds out Stardom, which means now we get to the other list, which is always the hardest for me to put together.
It's the hardest, but it's also usually the quickest because we usually have the least to say about the people on it.
Yes. So, speaking of saying the least, I don't have an honorable mentions for this at all. So, if you have any honorable mentions, feel free.
I do actually, and I'm like super duper proud of this because it's literally five women from basically 5 different companies, kind of.
Yeah.
So, number 5, Giselle Shaw.
Nice.
Number 4, Ryo Mizunami.
Ooh,
Number 3, Koki
nice.
from Actress Girls. Number 2, Asuka, aka Veni.
Cool, cool.
And number 1 on my honorable mentions is Yuki Kamifuku, aka Kamiyu.
Oh, nice. All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Number 5 for my fave five, Trinity. I
Oh,
went
okay.
back and I watched. What was that?
I just said, oh, okay.
Yeah. No, I went back and I watched some stuff she did this grading period. One of the best things Impact's got. I mean, God, for a trailer park promotion, they finally got at least one fucking diamond in Trinity there. So really happy for her as the Impact Women's Champion, and yeah, just curious what she'll do next by next grading period. So that's it there. Who's number 5 for you?
Miu Watanabe.
Nice, nice.
She's really strong, and I wish that we could have seen her do more this grading period, but unfortunately, the only thing that we really got to see her do was fail to swing and then job to Nyla Rose. Ew.
It wasn't that great. TJPW is just doing so great.
I
I
don't
feel
even
like
have
I
a
should have.
problem with Nyla Rose. That match was just a travesty relative to Miu's track record.
Yeah, yeah. Guys, by the way, because there will be some TJPW on my list. In fact, quite a bit of TJPW on my list. Go check out the rant I did on TJPW on my Twitter at John
It was
underscore
really
TWitWoW.
good. I liked all of it and retweeted the last one because it was the one that resonated with me the most.
Yeah, I definitely kept a very composed tone. That's
You
what I was
did,
proud
and it
of.
was great. Great job,
But
bud. You're wonderful.
number 4 for me, Kevin Knight.
I love that for you. That's a TNA pick, right?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
Or an Impact Wrestling
Um,
pick, I should say. They don't call themselves TNA anymore.
yeah,
They have
he actually,
big name now.
I actually watched a match he did like an hour before we went live.
Nice.
Um, and he looks great. I think some of the stuff needs to be polished just a little bit, but he's definitely a really compelling high flyer. And again, I'd be curious to hear him cut some promos and put that kind of work together because there's something there. There's definitely something there, and I love that he's got like he's a black wrestler with kind of this, I don't know if you'd want to call it like an Afrofuturist kind of vibe or whatever, because he's just got that whole vibe. That's why I
I
think he's
love
teamed
his
with
look.
times.
Honestly, you say Afrofuturist, but like it gives 80s vibes to me.
Yeah, yeah. He's a cool cat, man. He's a cool fucking dude. I look forward to seeing him do more. So who's next on your list?
Number 4 on my list is Saki-sama, aka Saki Akai, but we only saw her during this grading period as Saki-sama because she teamed with May Saint Michelle in that tag team match. That was so much fun and really got to show off how great they are as a team and how fun they are and the hijinks and the psychology, and it's just so fun and so wonderful, and I just love her so much.
As you should. She oozes elegance, to say the least. Um, number 3 for me, Miyu Yamashita.
Nice.
Still a beast, still a killer. That's why one thing that I was proud of with my TJPW rant, it's not that I called out Yamashita, it's that I
You
called
could have.
out the conservative booking philosophy of TJPW putting Miyu Yamashita in this spot again, winning the Princess Cup.
Yeah.
I even gave Mia Yamashita flowers. I said I think she's a worthwhile and deserving ace. It was not meant to be an attack on her,
Yeah.
and I don't think many people have read my thread. But if any did and thought that it was, no, it wasn't, and I apologize that you took it that way. Because I do think Yamashita's solid. I just think that there are other women, and they actually rank above her in my Fave Five, that could do more for the company at this present time. I feel like Mia Yamashita has given the best that she can. She's been the champion. She's had the marquee matches. So, I don't really know why we're circling back here again.
Your
But yeah,
threads tweets have been viewed anywhere from 28 to 89 times.
well, if any of those 89 people or 28 or whatever the number was on a particular tweet thought, man, this guy's a butt face. He doesn't even like me much. Well, I mean, I can concede to the first half. I know my history well enough, but to the second half, no. I've always been very respectful of Mia Yamashita. In fact, I feel like I've even defended her sometimes, when she's been criticized. But yeah, for me, she's been in that spot. I want to see her go do something else. In fact, I want to see her go somewhere else, honestly. But it is what it is. Who's next on your list?
Next on my list, number 3 is the other Moon Girl in wrestling, the other Zuki, Mizuki.
Oh, nice. Nice. Good pick, man. Good pick.
Yeah, I was disappointed that Ito didn't beat her for the Princess of Princess Championship, but that doesn't mean that I don't like her. I'm still a huge fan of Mizuki. She's a really talented in-ring worker. I really love some of her move set is really impressive. Her psychology is great. Her facial expressions are great. And speaking of her face, she's just so gosh darn cute.
Yes. Yes. God, Joshi wrestlers and being adorable and talented at the same time. Name a more iconic duo. Uh,
WWE and missing opportunities. I'll always come back to that one.
of course, of course. Wow, you just had to really stick the knife in me there, huh?
Sorry.
But yeah, it's okay. Well, I mean, it's not, but it is. So with that said, at number 2 for me, Miyu Watanabe. I don't know how the fuck you're just dropping the ball on this woman, TJPW, but to your credit, you are. Life finds a way. Uh, but she's still amazing. She's still an incredible performer. Her feats of strength remind me how I used to pop when, Claudio, formerly known as Cesaro, would do the swing on opponents. Even now, it still kind of gets a pop for me, but in WWE, I think they really knew how to leverage it. Um, yeah, Miyu, she's fantastic. I wish she would have won the Princess Cup. I'm with Javaris on this one. He said he's still pissed that Miyu didn't win it. Um, I wouldn't have been as pissed if they would have put Kamiyu over, but again, as I already said, I let the cat out of the bag. Miyu Yamashita won in the finals. So thank you for that, TJPW. I mean, really, like that steel-toed boot right to the scrot. Just what I needed. Just what the doctor
Yeah,
ordered.
Yamashita beat the woman who beat Miyu Watanabe.
Yeah, like it really, like you really put me on the rack there, TJPW, and you stretched me the fuck out. So props, kudos to you. But Mio's still fantastic. I hope she gets vindicated eventually. But given this company, I'm not holding my breath. So who's next for you?
Number 2 on my other list is, in fact, Trinity.
Excellent.
Yeah, I mean, you
Excellent.
pretty much covered it. She's great. She's really entertaining. I love that she's using her leg, like sort of leg sleeper type submission to win matches more often in Impact. I love her on the mic in Impact. Even she sounds just so candid and sincere on the mic there. I love her as a baby face in Impact. I mean, she's always been a baby face in WWE, but she's just there's a different air about her. She seems more confident. She seems more like she feels like she can be herself in Impact, and I really love that for her, and I'm just really enjoying her work.
Beautifully said. Number 1 for me, Camille.
Oh,
Um,
nice.
I watched some TJPW clips that showed like highlights from the Princess Cup and like her matches. I will say what I love about Camille that I really get to see in both the matches with Yamashita and Watanabe. She really knows how to use her reach and her legs. Like I've already talked about
Yep.
when I've seen her do a big boot, that it amazes me that that's not a finish. I got to see her do a drop kick that looked great. And the thing that surprised me the most, and she actually beat Miyu Watanabe because of this, she does an amazing famouser. Like I love Hanan to death. That's another one in Stardom that I feel like I'm amazed she didn't even make my B team because you know how high I am on Hanan.
Yes.
Um, and her famouser isn't bad. I'm not trying to shit on it. Kamiyu definitely has a better one though. And like when she beat Miyu Watanabe with it, because she hit two famous. One is a counter, which I thought looked great, and then like an actual proper one, like all the way. I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I can buy it. In her match with Miyu Yamashita, she has this great spot where from the ground she kicks Yamashita right in the
I
face,
remember
and,
seeing that, yeah.
and like the leg just extends. Like she's so good. I said it in my thread, which again, I'm just happy because I didn't even know if any TJPW performers would read it. So I wanted to keep a composed and mature tone. I do stand by. I think Camille is one of the most underutilized players in TJPW. Now, in a way, you kind of utilized her correctly, taking her all the way to the finals of a Princess Cup. I mean, that's a big deal. That's not lost on me. But you kind of cut my nuts out when you don't go all the way. And like again, Yamashita at this stage of her, not her career in general, because I still feel like she has a lot to give, but in her TJPW career specifically, should be at the stage where she's putting other people over. Like, that what she did with Miyu Watanabe last year, I'm like, that's a proper use of Yamashita because she's already been the top woman. She's already, had that time. I really thought, like, oh my God, are they going to give Kamiyu that fucking rub? Because it seemed like they were never interested in doing anything with her. And then, of course, she loses. It's like, God damn it. Like, Camille's 30 now. She's like 30 and a half. So I don't know if Camille's just happy in her spot. I'd love to be inside her head. I'd love to be in the head of a lot of women that I advocate for. And then I'm like, am I even doing a good service? Because maybe they're happy. And that's honestly all that matters. So if Camille's happy, cool. But I can say as a fan, and that's the authority from which I speak from, I'm not. I'm not happy.
Can
I
I
want to
say
see this
something that
woman
might
convert.
make you a little bit less angry at least?
What's that?
This is literally the first time Miyu Yamashita's ever won the Tokyo Princess Cup.
That's interesting. Okay, so she still has accolades to earn. Fine. Okay, we
I
can
mean,
cross it off the
obviously
bingo tree there.
she's still like the ace and she's multiple time Princess of Princess champion. Like she's basically done it all. But she like her one big bugaboo is that she's historically underperformed in that particular tournament.
Okay, well, it does dull it a little bit, but relative to who they could have had between Camus and Miyu, who again Camus beat, so it's like you really, I do take it a bit personally. I'm not gonna lie, because it's like, okay, John, you really like both these guys. They're probably your two favorites in TJPW. We're gonna have them fight it out. One will remain, and then we'll take that one all the way to the finals. And then it's funny because clearly to get to the finals, Camus had to beat Rika Tatsumi, who Kirby was rooting to win. So then Kirby got hurt a little bit, but I'm not gonna lose sleep over that. But then then yeah, fucking Yamashita put her down. It's like, god damn it. But yeah, I think Camille is amazing. I've always thought very highly of her. I think she's got a very bright future if she wants to. And yeah, I think she's absolutely fantastic. So just yeah, just love me some Camille. Can't wait to see more of her, and hopefully it goes better the next time around. So this would be number one on your list next, right?
Indeed, indeed. Number one on my list is Maki Ito.
Oh, of course, of course. What did she do this grading period, man? Because I didn't really think
Challenged
about her too much.
Mizuki for the Princess of Princess Championship, put on a hell of a match, and has been active on social media. That's been great.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'd say that's something. Yeah, it's certainly not nothing.
Yeah.
I actually forgot about that match, but yeah, from what I do remember, it was pretty good. I just wish she would have fucking won it, dude.
Yeah.
God damn.
Yeah.
Uh,
I think a lot of my Ito rankings are driven at least partially by her social media presence, which is just omnipresent and excellent. She's really good at social media. I don't know if she even realizes how good she is at it. I've actually managed to catch her IG lives once or twice during this grading period, and those are also just kind of fun and cozy and chill and entertaining.
yeah,
So yeah, like I just Ito's the best. She's just cool.
absolutely. All right. Time for the Universal Top 10. Do you want to start, friend, or should I?
I'm gonna start.
All right. Coming in at number 10 for you.
Okada Kazuchika.
You know what? In a way, that's perfect. We still kind of parallel each other in a way because number 10 for me is Roman Reigns.
Oh my god, that is amazing. Number 9 for me, Utami Hayashishita.
Number 9 for me, Jeff Cobb.
Ooh, we both got thick ones at number 9.
Yeah, we do.
Number 8 for me, Maki Ito.
Number 8 for me, Zack Sabre Jr.
Nice, Sabre Jr. 7 for me, I'm curious if we share this one, Mariah May.
7 for me, Saori Ano, actually.
Oh, nice. Okay, that's cool. That means that we're definitely not going to share this one because number 6 for me is Mina Shirakawa.
6 for me, Finn Balor.
Finn. God, that blows my mind. I actually was going to ask you earlier. Remind me when we get done with these master lists. I want to ask you a separate question about the Judgment Day. Number 5 for me is the Bloodline.
5 for me, Rhea Ripley.
Wow. Okay. Wait. You had Balor above Ripley on your WWE list, but now you have Ripley above Balor
Oh,
on
you know what?
this.
That is fair. You know what? Let's swap it out. We'll put Rhea at 6 and Finn at 5. I actually forgot that momentarily, so
Okay.
we'll fix that.
I had the Bloodline at 4. You had Balor at 5 now since we fixed that.
Yes.
Number 4
Yeah,
for
I'm
me,
cool with that.
Andrade El Idolo.
Just give me a second because I want to fix my own list when I say this again, just for posterity. Rhea Ripley. Okay, so this would be 4 for me. 4 for me is Gunther.
Gunta.
Yes.
Number 3 for me, Damage Control.
Excellent. 3 for me, Mariah May.
Nice. 2 for me, Hazuki.
2 for me, Mina Shirakawa.
And number 1, because again, this is the first time that Hazuki has not been number 1 for me on my master list since... Oh god, how far back do I have to scroll? Since September of... Or no, since June! Since June of last year!
Damn.
Holy shit. It's been over a year since Hazuki was not number one on my master list. And number one on my master list now is the Mogul Embassy.
Number one for me, Utami Hayashishita.
Yes. I just gotta
All
say
right.
though, this is what I meant when I said earlier that some of my favorite things going on in wrestling right now are in my least favorite company because literally Mogul Embassy and Andrade are both in my top four in the entire wrestling world, and they're in the worst company to me. I fucking hate AEW, and they're both in it.
Yeah, yeah. God, if they ever leave AEW, you'll have no reason to watch that shit fucking company anymore.
Oh man, it's definitely going to be helpful. But anyway, so do we want to talk about what I wanted to tell you about?
Sure, yeah, what's up?
How would you rank? Actually, I don't even need to really ask you, do I? Because you already have them. So your rankings of the Judgment Day members are: you would have Priest at the bottom at 4, then Dominic, then Rhea, then Finn.
Yes.
That is absolutely mind blowing to me because I'm almost the exact opposite.
Yeah.
Literally, if you flip that upside down, you would have Priest 1, Dominic 2, Rhea 3. Okay, so I'm not the exact opposite. I'm Rhea 1, Damian 2, Finn 3, Dominic 4.
Damn. Dominic getting no love, I see. I actually do like Damien, so it's not even like a harsh four. It's just a
Well, yeah, I mean,
personal
obviously
preference
you had
thing.
to like him enough to put him in your honorable mentions.
Yeah, yeah.
But, like, it just blows my mind that you have Balor ranked that high and that you have anyone in that group ranked above Rhea.
Yeah. That's fair enough, man.
And I also, like, just it surprises me that you have all 4 members of Judgment Day in your top 10 because I am so fucking over that group. Like literally when they're on my TV, I don't pay attention. I don't give a shit about them anymore. I'm so over them as a whole.
Yeah, and it's funny because whenever their like stuff gets uploaded to WWE's YouTube, like I always check in to see what they're doing, and I
See, and that,
am
I think
invested in
maybe it is
them.
just like an exposure thing because I actually have the shit on my TV every week, so I basically am like seeing how much they're being used, and it's like, okay, I get it. Whereas with you, you get to kind of pick and choose how much exposure you get to them.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I know that you just really like them as performers, and that's great. And I do too, or 3 of them. I like 3 of them as performers, and but like just the overexposure to me has made me really really sour on the group as a whole.
Yeah, dude, that's completely
Because
understandable.
here's the thing too, they're even on fucking NXT now. They're literally on all 3 WWE shows every fucking week.
Yeah, because Dom is North
And
American champion until Ali hopefully wins it.
and Raw basically revolves around them. They are like the bloodline of Raw.
Yeah. It is an interesting approach for Triple H, producing TV to have like a head honcho faction for each show.
Yeah.
It's different. I wouldn't think in 2023 that so much of television programming would revolve around factions, which is why I'm saying like WWE is kind of lightly borrowing from the New Japan and Stardom philosophy, seemingly. But they're not fully committing to it like they do, because for Stardom and New Japan, the whole brand revolves around factions.
Yes.
And for Triple H, it's like no, just the main
Just
programs and
one
stuff.
on
We're
each
gonna
show.
exactly.
Although there are
Um,
other factions, like there's Alpha Academy on Raw, and then like SmackDown has like the LWO and stuff like that, but like they're nowhere near as fleshed out or important as the main one on each show.
yeah.
So our next Fave Five, by the way, as far as my schedule goes, will be on November 27th.
Oh, nice. That's a healthy grading period.
Yeah, we've
All
got
right.
a 3 month skip because nothing fucking happens in the fall, and that'll be after both Full Gear and Survivor Series.
Yes. All right. Well, guys, with that said, thank you so much for joining us. Be sure to leave a like as you file out, subscribe, click the bell icon for notifications. Check out everything we're involved in the description box. Follow us on Twitter and Twitch because we are the best wrestling podcast in all the IWC. And we'll see you tonight at 10, actually, for more Stardom coverage. We're covering I want to say, the August 12th show live reactions as we continue catching up on the 5-star. We know the 8:15 show is already up, so we'll be able to do that tomorrow, which will be pretty fucking great. And yeah, I think everything's looking good. So join us at 10 tonight for more Stardom. Until then, be good to yourselves and each other. Tune in. Peace out.